If you had only 12 hours inside of Roblox Grower Garden, do you think that you could get every single mutation on one plant? Well, in this video, I decided to challenge myself to do just that and get every single mutation on the maple apple within 12 hours of playing. Do you think I can do this? Make sure to watch it to the end of this video to find out how many mutations I get on this maple apple and to see if I actually get every single one. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and spawn in some mooncats here. So we got 8 mooncats that we can spawn in, so we can start getting progress on getting a big, beautiful maple apple tree. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and place all of our sprinklers down here. So we're gonna get a master, godly, advanced, and basic, and then we're gonna put our maple apple right in there. And look at that, it's all rainbowy up here, so it looks like we might have a pretty big tree. To save some time, we're gonna go ahead and hit that grow all button on my main account. And oh, look at this, we got a sandstorm, so we might as well hurry up and do this. All right, we're in, and there we go. We have some maple apples. Now, these don't look very big. This one looks decent, but some of these don't look as big as I thought we might be able to get this. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these, and I guess we'll give it a look and see how they regrow. But I'm gonna go ahead and put some more sprinklers down, and we're gonna try to get this thing to grow a little bit better. We want these mooncats to hopefully affect this as much as possible. We want to get a big maple apple. Now, we do have a pretty decent sized one here, but I think we could do better than that. I think we could definitely get a bigger one to show up. All right, we have a lot of mooncats right here. I think what I'll do is I'll trowel this into the sleeping mooncats if they all pile in a certain area. Let me move that into that circle. All right, yeah, they're kind of all piling around in different spots. They're not like just in one area. Okay, let me try right here in between these two, or actually maybe even right here because there's a few of them right here. All right, and hopefully that helps. All right, I'm gonna hit the grow all button again just to see if anything changes, see if we get any big ones. So let's just YOLO it. Let's see what we get. Okay, that's better. That's definitely better. That's this one is pretty big. All right, so we can go ahead and pick up these other ones then. Yeah, look at this. We thought this was gonna be decent. I think this one's a lot better. Dude, what is going on? We're getting all these events, but we're not ready yet. We still gotta get this thing rainbow. All right, we're gonna pick up all of our mooncats. We're gonna try and go through this quick. So let's go ahead and get our sprays done. Actually, let's go ahead and get that queen bee ready to get the cooldowns ready. Let's get the butterfly ready to get that cooldown ready, and then let's get these sprays done on our maple apple. So we're gonna go ahead and put pollinated on this. We're gonna put chocolate on that. We're gonna put a cloud touched, shocked, and then we will do honey glazed with the honey sprinkler. And there we go. That will be our 5 mutations. All right, so I was stupid and accidentally picked up my queen bee, so I've been sitting here waiting for my butterfly. But to speed this up, I guess, a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and give my butterfly this toy, which will speed up the cooldown, and now our butterfly will give us rainbow. So it's like the same thing, but yeah, you won't notice any difference here, but yeah, I had to wait a little bit longer because I'm stupid and dumb. All right, so just like that, our maple apple is now rainbow. So we can go ahead and pick up that butterfly. We're good. We have this mutation done. All right, so now we can go ahead and apply our sprays to this thing again. So we're gonna put our chocolate back on it, pollinated, shocked, cloud touch. We're gonna go ahead and put our honey sprinkler back down to get honey glaze back onto it. And then on our main account, we're going to apply amber onto it. I did that from over there. I got snipes, I guess. But now amber's back onto it. Now, my main account has some chilled sprays we're going to use, but we're going to wait on that because we're going to try to get this thing to get ceramic first. So to do that, we need wet and then sandy to get clay, and then we'll need to get sun-dried to turn that into ceramic. So we're going to wait a little bit, and we're going to not apply the chill just yet. We're going to do frozen after we get ceramic. So now we're going to start focusing on the rest and applying some more with our pets. So I have some disco bees here. Now, I know people are going to be like, Bandites, you can just use the new disco spray. Well, there's no spray merchant, and I don't have the disco spray, okay? So I'm going to be using disco bees to hopefully get us disco mutation on our maple apple. And then I'm going to be using the cooked owls, same thing here, to hopefully get burnt or cooked since I don't have those sprays as well. We're going to go ahead and use some chicken zombies, and then we're going to spawn in 1 scarlet. Actually, we're going to hold off on the scarlet for now and not get verdant on this just yet because we're going to try to get ceramic first, and if we have verdant, that sun-dried will just convert to paradisal. So we're going to wait on this guy, but we are going to spawn in 2 sea turtles so we can get this maple apple, the wet mutation. And after we get the wet mutation, that should help us get this turned to clay, and then yeah, we could go through that getting ceramic. Our luck today is a little bit better than it's been the last few videos. We have another aurora happening, so hopefully we can get the aurora mutation on our maple apple. Oh, look at that. Just like that, the sea turtle already applied wet to our maple apple, so that's quick and easy. We can go ahead and pick up these guys then, and I guess we'll spawn in another disco bee and another, I guess we'll do another chicken zombie for the time being. Oh, I just saw something happen. Did we get it? Oh, let's go. We got Aurora. All right, this is actually going a lot better today than it has been. I think the update of increasing the events really helped. So we are up to 9 mutations on our maple apple, including Aurora, which is awesome. We're going to wait for these pet mutations to hopefully take effect. We got our disco bees and our cooked owls that will be applying some mutations soon. All right, our disco bees always seem to be the first pet to apply their mutations, but anyways, let me go ahead and unfavorite this real quick. But as you can see, we now have the disco mutation on our maple apple, so it's starting to look pretty good. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is pick up these disco bees carefully without picking anything else up, as I've done in the past, as we all know now. And I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another cooked owl or two. Let's see. I guess I'll do another cooked owl. And I will spawn in another chicken zombie. So hopefully we can get these 2 mutations done. And then we just really got to get Verdant after that, but we're going to wait for Verdant just for a little bit. We want to wait until we get this thing, hopefully ceramic first, and then we'll focus on Paradisal. All right, so we have some of our cooked owls here that are about to finish their cooldowns, which is good. And with that, we also have a Zen event about to start. Oh, well, they're targeting the big one, but they're failing. What about the other one? Targeted the big one, but fail. Okay, that's very sad. Our chicken zombies are almost cooled down as well. At least 2 of them are almost done. And then we have another one that'll be done in a few minutes. And we're gonna see the Zen Aura event happen in a second, which will help us get Tranquil on our maple apple here, which will be another mutation added on. All right, so we got our first little Tranquil beam coming over here. Let's see which one it hits first. All right, there we go. Our big one is mutated to Tranquil, so that's a really easy one to get, and that's just some extra multiplier for us to work with. Oh, let's go. Thank you, cooked owls. You guys, I love you so much. You're so nice to me today. All right, well, there we go. Now we have burnt on our big maple apple here, so we're stacking up some good mutations. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these cooked owls now then. Get these guys out of the way. We have another chicken zombie almost ready, so hopefully he does what the cooked owls did in target. I'm gonna spawn in another chicken zombie, and we'll spawn in a mimic octopus to mimic those guys to give us even more opportunities. All right, we have a windy event, which I was hoping for, and I'm gonna go ahead and travel our plant, I guess, over here, because for some reason these corners over here always help get windstruck on our plants faster. Okay, the event ended. Let's see if we got any windstruck added. Oh, we did. Dude, I don't know why this corner is blessed right here. If you need windstruck, move your plants like right here. It seems to always work to get us windstruck. All right. I forgot that they re-added frost into the game, which if we get chilled, which because our plant is already wet, we might get it frozen, which we don't want right now, which is going to be very unfortunate. We have wet, and I probably should have waited. I completely forgot that they re-added frost. The only reason I added wet was in case a sandstorm came by, we could have gotten sandy, which would have made this turn instantly to clay. But I didn't count the fact that if a frost storm comes by, we can get frozen. We don't want frozen yet, because once we get frozen, we pretty much, I don't think, can get ceramic. Actually, you know what? We probably can. I think if we get sandy, we could apply wet again. So this actually isn't the end of the world. It would just get us frozen earlier, which we didn't really want yet. All right, well, yeah, we now have frozen on our maple apple. Honestly, that is fine. We'll just keep frozen on there. Either way, we can still get ceramic, I believe. We just have to wait for a sandstorm now, and once this is sandy, we can add wet to it to get clay. Okay, it looks like one of our chicken zombies just applied zombified to our maple apple. Yep, there it is. We are good, which means we pretty much have every pet mutation done. We still gotta wait for Twisted, which is technically a pet mutation now, I guess. But that will get this thing to Tempestuous. And then once we have that, we also need to get Verdant, which is also a spray or a pet mutation. All right, so I have literally been in a Discord call with one of my friends for like 6 hours talking, waiting for more mutations to get applied. We did end up getting Moonlit to this, but we had a sandstorm twice and did not get Sandy. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and just apply Scarlet to this maple apple so we can get verdant on it. So I'm going to spawn in 3 scarlets and a mimic octopus just so we can make sure we get that verdant mutation, and that will turn sun-dried into paradisal. So there we go. We have all these pets set, and some of them actually have some of our buffs still added onto them. And while they focus on getting that sun-dried to turn into paradisal, over here on my main account, shout out to my friend Cole or Azook. He actually is letting me borrow his kitsune for this video so I can try to get chakra and foxfire chakra on my maple apple. And if I can get those two, that should be some extra good mutation buffs. So I have a queen bee spawned in my main account garden in there, and I'm going to go ahead and use that queen bee with the kitsune to see if I can get both foxfire and regular chakra on my plant. So apparently the kitsune actually applies it to your plant, and then it steals it and gives it to your other account. So I should be able to get 2 of these maple apples with all these mutations on it, and it should be pretty good overall. Okay, well, it looks like we're about to finally wrap things up here, and we finally got Sandy applied to our maple apple after literally hours and multiple sandstorm events. So we technically could get this up to ceramic now, but I don't know if I really want to wait around for another heat wave event to happen, because I have been at this for like 8 hours today trying to get this one to be good for you guys. So I think we're just going to keep Sandy. That way we have that mutation on there, and then if we can get foxfire chakra and regular chakra, that should make up for that ceramic mutation, and at least we still have Sandy on it. All right, my main account's kitsune is coming over here to attack our maple apple. Okay, and it says kitsune applied chakra, so it looks like my main account is getting one of these, and let's just go ahead and check. Yeah, there we go. Now we have chakra on this. We did not get foxfire chakra, but we do have the regular chakra on this, and in total we do have 18 mutations on our maple apple. We could turn this Sandy into ceramic. We could have turned this Windstruck into tempestuous, and we could also get foxfire chakra and celestial. So there's a few things that we could have combined for better mutation chances, and it would have really helped us in the end to get a little bit more money value out of this. But overall, I think this is a pretty good maple apple, and I'm very happy with it with how many mutations we actually got today. Let's go ahead though and pick up our maple apple and check the value. All right, so here it is. Here's our big maple apple with all of these mutations on it. It looks insane with all the electricity and everything on it. I'm gonna go ahead and favorite it as well, just so I don't accidentally ever sell it. And we're gonna check with Steven. So Steven, what is the value of our maple apple with all 18 of these mutations on it? This maple apple is worth 197 billion, and I can only imagine that this would have been past 400 billion or so if we were actually got Celestial, Foxfire, Chakra, and a couple of those other mutations mixed together. With those admin mutations, I think this would have been very, very good, but for that many mutations on it, that is still pretty good. I do wish our maple apple was a little bit bigger, but overall, I'm very happy with that price. So we're gonna go ahead and start by spawning in our golden goose, who has about a 11 or 12 minute cooldown. He does have a boost right now, but we're gonna have to give him a new boost in just a second. And we're gonna also, while we wait, spawn in our queen bee right away and our butterfly, because our queen bee still has about 19 minutes for its cooldown to cool down our butterfly. And once it actually cools down our butterfly, it'll be ready to apply rainbow right away, because this golden goose has a little bit of time before he can spawn in his golden egg. So this video is going to be structured a little bit differently, but it's the same exact thing. We're going to be attempting to get every single mutation on the golden egg, but instead of planting a seed with all the sprinklers, we gotta wait for this guy to hatch an egg, which is interesting, I guess, for this one, huh? All right, so he should hatch his egg within 9 minutes. I will boost him again, so this timer will be accurate. And then within 18 minutes, we'll have our queen bee cool down our butterfly, and then our butterfly will convert all the mutations on our golden egg once we have it to rainbow. I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my queen bee over here on my main account, and also a kitsune. So once these cooldowns are done over here, the kitsune will steal the golden egg and apply chakra on it after it has rainbow. So the golden goose is dropping its golden egg, and boom, we have our golden egg. It's a little bit smaller than the other ones I've gotten, but not too bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and trowel this over here just so all of our pets are a little bit closer to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my sprays here. So there we go. We now have 5 mutations, and I guess just in case, since we don't really need fried, since we have a mutation shard for this, and also I don't believe we can use fried or burnt anymore, since this automatically gets removed when we get ceramic, which we will be getting getting ceramic. I'm gonna go ahead and just use that for a free one. I think fortune honestly might have been 5, but I don't know if it's considered a growth mutation technically, since it grows in with the golden egg, and growth mutations don't work to get rainbow. So this is just a safety thing, so I don't waste the 17 or so minutes I just waited for the queen bee's cooldown to go down. And our golden goose is going to work to spawn in another egg in just a second here. And once we get that other egg from the golden goose, we can go ahead and put the golden goose away, because that will be our fortune egg that we're going to use the Spinosaurus to move fortune back over to this, since this will lose fortune. It should lose fortune because, yeah, it's about to get rainbow. All right, the magic is now going to happen. The queen bee is going to cool down our butterfly, and then our butterfly is going to come over here and convert this golden egg to rainbow. Let's watch the magic happen. Oh, we also got windstruck, so that would have been a free mutation, but oh well. Anyways, all those are gone. We now have rainbow for that extra multiplier, so we can go ahead and pick up our queen bee for now and our butterfly, and our golden goose will be giving us another egg shortly. So we have all of those mutations gone. We now have rainbow. I'm going to go ahead and favorite this. We're going to go ahead and apply all of our sprays now. So I'm going to go ahead and skip out on burnt and fried today, although I usually apply those now that we get ceramic, since we have the jackalopes for sandy, and then we get that to clay. You cannot have burnt and fried to get ceramic, so there's really no point on applying burnt or fried anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and skip that, and we're going to do honey glazed. All right, so we're going to go ahead and apply chocolate now. So there we go. We now have rainbow, chocolate, and honey glazed. And let's see. All right, we're skipping fried burnt. Let's do shocked, pollinated. We have a bloom spray, and then I guess I'll go ahead and apply this chilled spray so we can get this thing to frozen. I would wait around and try to get bloodlit, but I've just given up on the kappas giving me bloodlit. Until they make a better pet or buff the kappas, I don't think I'm going to attempt to get bloodlit anymore with them, because I literally will sit here for like 10 hours straight and not get it, and then I cry and it's really sad. So I'm just not going to worry about getting bloodlit anymore, dude. It's a painful one to get. All right, and I'm also going to spawn in a Spinosaurus, and let's go ahead and get some of our other pets done. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in 2 queen bees, I guess, to get them started. I guess we'll go ahead and spawn in a Raiju so we can go ahead and get static applied. I guess I'll go ahead and spawn in these lobsters since they take forever to give us meteoric. And then I guess we'll go ahead and spawn in our pterodactyl, because he's going to try and give us tempestuous. Actually, maybe, hold on. I'm going to actually get rid of one of these disco bees, and I'm going to spawn in a pterodactyl and the corrupt kitsune. Since we have our Spinosaurus out, we might as well try and get these 2 done, since they're going to apply corrupt chakra and tempestuous, and I'm going to place a bunch of carrots down. Oh, and I almost forgot, I have some extra sprays on my main account that we can apply to this egg, so I'm going to go ahead and apply cloud touch to it and verdant. I feel like we're missing a couple of mutations there, and that's what we were missing. We did not use the verdant and cloud touch spray yet, but now we did. We're good to go there. All right, where's that kitsune? Hello? There he is. Look at him in all of his glory. He wants to eat my egg today. It's a chocolate covered egg. Who wouldn't want this? All right, he's got it. He's going back to my main account with it, and we got chakra applied to the golden egg. Now, some people in the comments have been like, Bandites, you could actually get Foxfire chakra, and you can get Foxfire corrupt chakra with corrupt chakra and regular chakra, and you can actually get harmonized Foxfire chakra and harmonized regular chakra. And yes, I know you can get both variants, but you have to understand, I record these videos almost every day for 4 to 8 hours, and the one thing I want to save some time on is worrying about every single version of chakra I could get, okay? I know technically I can make the mutations better, and I can get way more money for getting those mutations, but I don't know if it's worth sitting here waiting another 10 hours to get Foxfire corrupt chakra and Foxfire regular chakra just to get another 130 times multiplier. If I really want, I can use a calculator and do that math instead of drive myself insane. I'm sorry, I just want to keep my sanity. So let's go ahead and place these down. I'm gonna get one more actually, just in case, because the corrupt kitsune can apply to 9 different fruits. So I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I have 9 of these, and I'll get 1 extra. And then this is the one I will apply the shock spray to. There we go. So now our Raiju is set up to give us static, and then we should be getting this fortune moved over in just a second. Oh, we're done with our golden goose. Let me go ahead and get rid of him. Since he's done, I'm gonna go ahead and get my spaghetti sloth ready, because we are going to need to get 4 mutations from the spaghetti sloth. Where is this guy? Here he is. All right, our Raiju's cooldown is done. I actually moved the other golden egg in this corner for a second just to make sure maybe it'll be out of range so he can't apply static to that one, because I just want the Spinosaurus to eat fortune right away. And that way he might only apply to these carrots and this egg. So there we go. Perfect. He did not apply to that one. So now our golden egg has static applied to it, and I can go ahead and move this back over here. And I'm going to go ahead and I guess clear off some of these static carrots since we don't need them. And oh, our disco bee's doing something. Are you going to give us disco on a carrot, bro? Okay, he failed. That's actually fine. That would just make it easier for a Spinosaurus in a little bit to do his thing. And I'll actually spawn in another Disco Bee to get that taken care of. All right, there we go. Pterodactyl. Oh, he actually already applied Tempestuous right away to our golden eggs. That actually saves us some time. So I can pick up these carrots that he applied stuff to, get these out of the way, and save some more time there. All right, well, thanks, my man. That was really nice of you to just give it to us right away, you know? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pick you up then since you've done your job. And Disco Bees are going. Let's see, our lobsters cooldowns are almost done. So we have some more pets about to do some stuff in a second, but while we wait for those guys, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another pet. So I guess we'll start trying to get, I guess Sandy it's a pretty easy one to get out of the way. So we'll spawn in our age 5 jackalope to get that done. And we should be able to get Sandy done onto our golden egg in just a second pretty quickly. So lobsters, we need molten. Give us molten, boys. Give us molten, get it out of the way and make us happy, please. Please make us happy, please. I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy for once, please. Hey, you guys are getting a little far. Here, eat this golden egg. Only this one, buddy. Yeah, there you go. Failed. Hey, other guy, right here. Molten, now. All right, you guys are failures. Bruh. Jackalope, hey, buddy. Listen here, buddy. I need you to get us Sandy. Let's get this done out of the way. I got more pets I need to come in here and do some stuff. So hurry up. Get your Sandy on that egg. Come on. Yeah, let's go, dude. Jackalope applied Sandy to golden egg. That was like pretty much instantaneously. So, instant. I mean, I'm not speaking proper English today. But anyways, we have Sandy done. Spinosaurus, it is your time to shine. We're going to travel this here. You're going to eat fortune, apply to other golden egg. All right, go ahead. Feast. Feast upon the golden egg. Yes. Yes, good job. All right, now, just like I promised, spaghetti sloth, here you go. Eat. So now we have fortune moved over to our golden egg. And then also we should have a night event within 10 minutes because you know how I know this? Because I'm in the Bandites Discord, discord.gg/Bandites. We have a channel in there where you get alerts for different events happening in the game and also stock. You get to see if there's an item in stock that you want in the seed shop or the gear shop. And it's really cool. So you should join the Discord because it's really cool and you'd be even cooler if you joined it. You'd be cooler than you are now. All right, anyways. Spaghetti sloth, what are we thinking today? Are you going to give us some of that delicious pasta, delicious sauce, delicious meatballs? All right, perfect. We got pasta applied to the golden egg, so that is done. And then our Krupp Kidzoon's about to do something, so let me throw some seeds down real quick. And I'll be right back because my fiance is about to throw up. What? All right, sorry about that. Quick little thing happened there. Anyways, oh, hey, look at that. We got harmonized chakra done, so he applied it to our golden egg when I ran out. Thanks, buddy. He didn't even apply any of it to the carrots. All right, well, we don't need these. And Spinosaurus, I'm sorry to say it, buddy, but we don't need you anymore. And we have a Disco Bee almost done here, so I'm going to give him a toy. Let's see if we'll get Disco. Hey, Zaza. Hey, can we get Disco, please? Okay, you failed. Why are you failing me? What about you? What about you, Zeffy? You always seem to come in clutch. Zeffy? He was out of range. I should have moved it towards him. I didn't move it towards him. I'm a failure, too. All right, well, I guess we'll go ahead and spawn in our Tranquil Scarlet then, and we'll spawn in our Junk Bot. We should have a nighttime event. So I will be back when that event starts, and we'll get some more mutations done. I have returned. And also, we have Tropical Rain. Bro, we're getting so many events randomly. I don't, the game likes me for once. Anyways, our Spaghetti Sloth is almost done with its cooldown again, and then our Lobsters are almost done. I'm gonna go ahead and boost my Spaghetti Sloth to help us try and get Aromatic out of the way, since that one takes some time, and then we'll get our next ingredient. Now, with these lobsters, I really hope that they'd be nice enough to give us molten and to give us meteoric. But if they're not nice, then I can always just cry myself to sleep. That's always an option. Doesn't really matter to me. Okay, failed. Failed. What about you, buddy? Failed. And, well, okay, we got molten. We got molten. That's at least one of them, but they failed on the meteoric. So at least we have some time to still get meteoric. So I won't, like, cry myself to sleep very hard tonight. Like, it'll be a little bit, but definitely not as, like, heavy as I was expecting. Just like I said, dude, we got that beautiful nighttime event. There should be moonlit. Maybe we'll get celestial after. That'd be nice as well. And our Spaghetti Sloth is about to do some magic, so we'll see what he does. Ah, there we go. Moonlit. Moonlit is done and out of the way. We now have Moonlit on the golden egg. So we don't have to use our Tanukis, which is always nice, since those guys also take forever, just like the Kappas. However, the Kappas aren't completely useless. I will use them in a second to give us wet so we can get that chill to frozen and that sandy to clay, and then that will become ceramic. Sorry, I got caught off guard there because this guy failed at aromatic. I thought we were going to try to give us 2 mutations, but someone has other ideas today, huh? Anyways, hey, Disco Beast, can you make me feel better and give us Disco? Disco, Disco, Disco. failed. All right, Disco B, please don't fail me this time, please. I'm gonna cry, please. Please, Disco, please. Why? Alright, I'm gonna give a toy to my Junkbot and also flatter him like I did last time since that seemed to work. So Junkbot, hey buddy, if you give us oil on that golden egg right there, I will kiss you. I will give you a big kiss. Do you want a kiss? You gotta do your thing. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You gotta do it. You're not getting a kiss. That's what you're getting. A spit. Let's see, are we gonna get Disco this time, buddies? Come on. It's failed, okay. Move this over here for this buddy. Are you coming over here now? Okay, come on, please, 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 please. Why are they failing so much, dude? Why are they just failing me? Anyways, the spaghetti sauce will at least do something for us. Need some nummy nummies, huh? All right, we got sauce done, so now we just need meatballs and aromatic from this guy. So he's about halfway done with all of his mutations. But man, why are these Disco Bees failing me? Okay, corrupt failed. What about Tranquil? Hello? Hey, stop moving. Oh, he already has the boost. So he must have already done Tranquil and failed, and I just didn't realize. Okay, well, anyways, our Junkbot also is almost done with its cooldown again, so I am gonna give it another toy. Oh, wait, Tranquil, hello? Failed. All right, well, everyone's just failing me, dude. Everyone's just failing me. All right, so the main account does have the wet mutation, so we don't really need the Kappas. We'll just need the chicken zombies next. So anyways, this Sandy on there is about to turn to clay, and since we have molten, they'll instantly just turn to ceramic, and that chilled will turn to frozen. So let's go ahead and apply this wet mutation, and there's some magic right there. Wait, what? Why is Sandy still Sandy? Bruh. All right, well, for some reason we still have Sandy and frozen. Wait, maybe do I have to do it again? Let me try it again. Hold on. All right, did that do anything? We still have Sandy. What is going on, bro? All right, hold on. Let me try something else. Let me see if this will unstuck it if I applied fried. Fried got applied. What about burnt? And burnt got applied. All right, so today I guess it's just bugging. I don't know why, but it won't give us ceramic. I applied wet to the Sandy, but maybe because we already had chilled and then frozen, you can't do it. So I guess you can't get chilled. All right, so I'll know that for next time. Don't apply chilled yet. Wait until you have ceramic, okay? But either way, we can still apply fried and burnt, which you just did, and that's some extra mutations, but that's a shame. I thought we could have got ceramic still, but hey, that's 2 more mutations anyways. Junkbot, hey, don't let me down, please. I need to get some chicken zombies in here. We have some more mutations. If you could just please just be a nice little guy and apply that oil mutation, that'd be just really nice of you, and I would really like you, and I hate you, Junkbot. I hate you. All right, hopefully good stuff's about to happen. Our lobsters are done with their cooldowns. I believe this one's for meteoric. I could be wrong. Maybe the 3-minute one's for meteoric. I think this one's meteoric though, so I'm gonna scoot this over towards them. Hey guys, look at this egg. You can get meteoric on. Failed. Hey buddy, look at this egg. You get meteoric on. Buddies. Okay. Okay, failed. Everyone's failing. Come on, someone please. Someone please. Okay, we got meteoric. We got meteoric. Yes, that's another one done. Let's go. Where's the other Disco Bee? Apply Disco, please. Please, please, please. Okay, he failed, but at least we got meteoric done. That's another one out of the way. We can go ahead and pick up our lobsters finally, and then we can replace them with chicken zombies, and we're getting there now. We're getting somewhere. All right, good. We pretty much have a good setup now. These are pretty much the last pets that we need that we can AFK with, but let's see real quick if the spaghetti sloth gives us that nice, beautiful meatballs mutation. Because I really want some spaghetti. I actually have spaghetti in the fridge. I might go eat that while in AFK while these pets do their thing. But to celebrate me eating my spaghetti, this guy's got to give us that last spaghetti mutation. So let's see if he does it. All right, we got meatballs. Thank you. So now we have the spaghetti mutation done and out of the way. So now all we got to do is wait for this guy to give us aromatic, but his ingredient mutations are done. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I was AFK. We need a tanning mirror. This should help us get Paradisal done. So we just got Paradisal done. It looks like we got corrupt when we were AFK, and I think that was actually it. But thankfully I came back. I was AFK. I didn't realize that this was going on. I also didn't realize that I did not have a tanning mirror placed down. So now we have a tanning mirror placed down. We did get Paradisal, which is good. We needed Paradisal, and so that is good and out of the way. Whew. All right, so we have a few more toys we can use here, so I'm gonna go ahead and boost these chicken zombies to maybe give us zombified. Let's see the first one. Failed. What about this guy? Maybe please. Failed. Okay, well that's fine. Not really. I'm sad. Aromatic failed, so everyone just be failing today. What about the Junkbot? Junkbot, do you love me? Failed. Bro, what? Everything is just failing. Anyways, let's see what the Disco Bee gives us. Disco, please. Disco, please. Failed. What about you? Buddy, Zeffy. Listen to me. Listen to me. You've been here for such a long time. You always come in clutch. You always give us the Disco mutation. This one time, I really need your help on the golden egg. No one's giving me mutations. Please, it would make me feel so much better. Please. I thought we had a heart-to-heart. I thought we actually connected there, but We didn't. We got nowhere. The pain. Why didn't that kill me? It should have. I wish it did. Bro, finally. All right, one of our chicken zombies applied zombified to our golden egg. So now we have zombified officially applied. We can go ahead and pick these guys up. And I'm going to throw a queen bee into the mix to help with some of these cooldowns around here because these guys be taking forever. Some of them at least. All right, our disco bees finally came in clutch. We finally got disco applied. Please give us tranquil, bird. No. All right, at least we got disco done. We can't bag too much. All right, well, we got disco done. All right, if we can get junkbot done though, then it would only be up to 2 pets. So junkbot, let's get you done and out of the way, man. And I already offered you a kiss. You don't want anything. So what if I offer you this? Do you think that would make you produce oil? Because I just produced oil myself. Brother, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and give him a toy, and I'm sorry about that, by the way. That was disgusting. I'm sorry, but that was funny. And I'm literally, I have child humor. Anyways, junkbot oil, please. All right, you know what? Next time I'm farting on your head, bro. We got an Aurora event! An Aurora event! Maybe to increase our chances, I'm gonna throw some carrots down. Maybe we can get Aurora on something. I don't know. Aurora always never seems to like me enough, but maybe today, since all the other pets of mine don't like me. Maybe the sky will like me. All right, well, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see if I get Aurora on anything. It'd be nice if we get on the gold. We got Aurora! We got Aurora! We got it again! That's good. I'm gonna get a Spinosaurus in here. Move aside, Dash Hound. What do you guys... Actually, I have space. I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy to eat that Aurora and apply it to that golden egg. All right, so our queen bee here is about done with her cooldown. So she's about to cool down our Spinosaurus. I just realized because the Spinosaurus has such a long cooldown. Bro, that was the queen bee. That wasn't me. All right, anyways, the Spinosaurus is now eating the Aurora mutation off of our carrot and should apply it to our golden egg. There we go. We now have Aurora applied to the golden egg. Thank you, friends, for helping. Wait, the carrot is still purple. Interesting. Interesting. Hold on. Does it stay purple if I pick it up? No, it does not. The more you know. Okay, I just missed it by like a second, but we just got the aromatic mutation finally applied to our golden egg. And with that, we should be getting the tranquil one in just a minute. So let me go ahead and I guess pick up this aromatic spaghetti sloth now since he is done. And let's try to give a toy to our Scarlet here to see if we can get tranquil done finally. And it's still failed. Very sad. But at least we got another mutation done. We just have to wait for oil and tranquil, and then this thing will be pretty much ready to go. Bro, I went AFK for a second, and we actually finally got oil done. It's a miracle. It's actually a miracle. Now we just gotta let our queen bee and mimic octopus completely focus on the tranquil Scarlet. All right, so I know some people are gonna hate me forever for doing this, but I am going to give up on trying to get tranquil. Usually I don't do this, and usually we get it pretty quick, but I have been recording this for 4 hours. It is 3 a.m. I'm very tired, and we have not gotten tranquil after like 2 hours since we placed the pet down, maybe even almost 3 at this point. And we already have so many mutations that I think our golden egg is pretty much worth it at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip out on the tranquil, which means we won't have tranquil, and these are the other ones we're missing that we could get legit. Bloodlet, Eclipsed, Acidic, Celestial. These events are pretty rare, and I don't think we'll be getting one anytime soon by the time we're done recording. I wish we got Celestial earlier with the nighttime event, but we didn't. But anyways, for now, we're going to be leaving it off there. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that we're not getting Tranquil. We probably won't be getting these 5 mutations, but there's still a chance for Amber. But if we don't get that, then we missed out on 6 mutations we could have gotten legit. And of course, not including all the admin ones. But in total, though, this golden egg here has 26 mutations on it. And if you separate Tempestuous, it has 27 mutations on it. Separate Paradisal, 28. Frozen, 29. Harmonized Chakra, 30. And if we had Ceramic, it would have been like 31, 32. So let's hope that we can get Amber on it and make it worth even more. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and I guess I'll leave the Mimic Octopus, but no, I don't think you can Mimic Raptors actually. And plus, we're about to use our Raptors to pick it up. So we're going to pick him up, pick up our Queen Bee, and sadly pick up the Tranquil Scarlet. But hopefully our Raptors can give us Amber. I'm going to boost them with some toys to try and help us get Amber. And let's see if we get Amber. All right, we did not get Amber. So yeah, we missed out on about 6 mutations, but we did get all of the other mutations on our golden egg here, which I can't even see it because there's so many mutations. Oh, there they go. They're loading in now. Wait, is this the right thing? I don't think this is it. Okay, yeah, I mean, it went to my hotbar, but I confused myself for a second because the other day we had a fruit like this that looked kind of crazy where it was just like a big ice texture like this. I thought it was the same fruit and I thought it swapped out for some reason in my hotbar, but that one we didn't have fried on. We actually had ceramic on that one, which won't show up because it was deep in the mutation list, but I know for sure we just had fried on our golden egg, and the other ones that we have fried in my inventory that are favorited with all the mutations. Things I have here that are fried. This is a taco fern. This is a donut sugar glaze. This is a moon mango, I think. This is a traveler's fruit, cacao, and the beanstalk. So this has to be the golden egg here. It just has a bug broken texture, of course. So I'm going to be checking the mutation of our golden egg with Steven here, and we're going to see how much our golden egg is actually worth now. So Steven, how much is our golden egg worth? Wow. Only 8 billion, and I think if we had Tranquil, this would only have been like 9 or 10 billion. That is not as much as I was expecting. I honestly thought we might get to trillions because usually the golden egg's base value is pretty high. However, I think because this one wasn't that big of a golden egg that we got from our goose this time around, that might have really affected the value. But let me actually check real quick what the minimum value is. So it looks like the minimum value is around 200k for this thing. So with all the mutations on it, we only got to 8 bill. Usually I was seeing like I was selling these things for millions, but maybe it's because I had other stuff in my inventory. I thought these were worth a lot more, but 8 billion for about 30 mutations is... I don't know if that's good or not. I mean, it was an interesting video, but I don't know if that's worth it. You can make a lot more money with other fruits, but the golden goose will also spawn this thing in every... All right, so we have some pretty newbie cocoa mangoes, but we're going to get rid of these. We're going to actually get a pretty good one in a second, but first, before we do that, we're going to use our apple gazelle, and we're going to use this guy to just get us the warp mutation done and out of the way. So we're going to pick up some sugar apples until we get warped. Oh, and actually, we had a golden egg in our inventory, so we just got fortune on one of our sugar apples here. So I will make sure I favorite that real quick, so we won't actually have to use our golden goose. All right, we got warped on one of our sugar apples. It's this one over here that's actually not even spawned in, but warped is there. So once that regrows, we'll have it. So I'm gonna go ahead and move this warped sugar apple over here. We're also gonna move this fortune sugar apple over here. I'll move this one as well since it already... We're gonna get a lot of glimmerings, but I guess I can go ahead and move this one as well since it already has glimmering on it to our little buffet platter. So I'm gonna pick up the rest of these sugar apples here, and we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the apple gazelle, and let's go ahead and pick up these cocoa mangoes since these are too small for us, and we're gonna go ahead and spawn in our moon cats here, and we're also going to get a triceratops spawned in to help with some growth, and then let's go ahead and get our sprinklers on here. So we're gonna put down a grandmaster sprinkler, we're gonna put down a master, godly, advanced, and basic, and then hopefully this will all help give us some pretty big cocoa mangoes here, and then we can go ahead and get started with getting all the mutations. So let's try to get our moon cats asleep in a good group here. Let's see. Okay, there's a couple going like right here. I'm gonna do right here because there's 2 of them. Okay, that's actually a pretty big cocoa mango there. So that's a good sign, but we got to get bigger than that. I think we can get way bigger than that with the moon cats sleeping on it. But I don't think that's gonna be big enough for us. We need bigger. Yeah, like that. That's looking a little bit bigger. So we're gonna delete this one. We're gonna keep doing this until we get a really, really big one. This one's a better size, but I think we can get even bigger than that. So let's just keep trying this until we get a big one, and then we can start getting some mutations put onto this thing. Okay, here's an even bigger cocoa mango growing. So we're just getting bigger and bigger as we go up. This one might be our winner, but we're gonna try to get one more to grow in pretty big. I will put this on the mooncats one more time. We'll see what we get, but I'm gonna keep deleting these smaller ones. But yeah, I think this cocoa mango might be our winner here. This thing is humongous. All right, can we get a good group of mooncats to sleep on it? Okay, there's like 3 of them. Come on, come on, come on. Pile up right here, pile up right here. Go to bed, go to bed. Go to bed. Oh, they're all moving around. All right, these 2 are pretty close in size. However, this one is still bigger, I think. So I think we might have our winner here. This thing is just growing in real nicely. So, I'm stuck inside of it. I'm being crushed. Okay, this is a pretty big cocoa mango right here. I don't know which one's gonna be bigger. What the heck? All right, so I can't honestly tell which one's bigger. They're both very close in size. I would do a stud count, but it's kind of hard to tell because this one's all glimmering and magical. I almost want to say this one's bigger right here. They're either the same size or this one's slightly bigger. Oh wait, they have faces on them. Forgot. We can count the studs on the faces. Okay, yeah, this one has about like 5.5 almost studs on the face, and this one only has about 5. So this one's definitely bigger right here. So I think we have our winning cocoa mango. I'm gonna go and pick these ones up, and here we go. Here's our beautiful cocoa mango here. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and put some sprays on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a chocolate spray on that. We're gonna do a windstruck spray, pollinated. We'll do a honey sprinkler, and then on my main account, I'm gonna go ahead and add a cloud touch touch spray to that. And there we go. We have our 5 mutations on here that we're going to use to convert this thing to a rainbow cocoa melon. Cocoa mango. I keep saying cocoa melon, dude. That shows. Yeah. I just have the intro. In my head. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and spawn in our queen bee to get the cooldown started with this guy, and we're gonna spawn in our butterfly, and then the queen bee will cool down the butterfly, convert all this to rainbow, and then we can get the show on the road and get a really nice cocoa mango and make some good cash, huh? Wait, is this one bigger? Hold on. No, it's not. Okay. All right, well, our cocoa mango is ready for rainbow conversion, so we're gonna let that happen. And I believe, I mean, we already have a lot of glimmering plants over here, so Spinos will move that over. That's not gonna be a problem right now. And we sugar apple, we have a warp sugar apple, so like all that's good as well. And then I think we might have a chakra one somewhere in there. If not, my main account will probably be moving that over here in a second. My main account will be having its kitsune come over here in a second and apply chakra either to our cocoa mango or one of our sugar apples, so that shouldn't be a problem. All right, and real quick before we do AFK and wait for this thing to become rainbow, I'm gonna go ahead and favorite it just real quick, and I am going to spawn in my mandrakes here. We're going to get an advanced sprinkler, and I'm just going to watering can some mandrake seeds here to get some mandrakes and hopefully get us the rot mutation on one of our sugar apples so we can add that over to our cocoa mango once it's ready for that. Oh, okay, we had rot spread to one of our other mandrakes, which is interesting, but that works. We're gonna go ahead and add this over here to our little platter of food for our Spinos, and there we go. We have the rot mutation ready to go. All right, so I can go ahead and pick up these mandrakes now. We can unfavorite our cocoa mango, and now we can get ready to get rainbow and then get all the mutations applied. And I think while we're AFK, our kitsune is going to apply chakra to something, so we'll check on that once we get back. All right, real quick, our kitsune from my main account did just steal a sugar apple, so we do have chakra applied over there, and he's gonna go hand that off to my main account now. So thanks for stealing that and breaking my heart, but we do have chakra, so we can get that moved over in a little bit with our Spinos. All right, so I just boosted my queen bee and it cooled down our butterfly, and our butterfly is now going to convert this to rainbow. All right, there we go. Our cocoa mango is now rainbow, so I go ahead and favorite this so I don't accidentally pick it up, and we are good to start getting some mutations on this thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some sprays. Let's go ahead and put pollinated back onto this, chocolate, wet, and I guess I'll save that glimmering since, you know, when the event ends, we'll need that more later. And then we can go ahead and put our honey sprinkler down on this to get honey glazed. Honey glazed will be back on that now, so we're up to 5 mutations. And then on my main account over here, I'm gonna go ahead and apply the verdant spray. We're going to put cloud touch onto that, and we will put shocked onto that. And now we are up to 8 mutations, and since I have my main account here with some shock sprays, I am going to actually go ahead and plant a couple carrot seeds real quick, and then bring my main account over here with the shock spray to put it on one of my carrots. So that way we have the shocked carrot ready to go, and we can go ahead and spawn in my Raiju to eat that, and then it will apply the static mutation around to hopefully my cocoa mango, but if not, one of these sugar apples or one of these other carrots, and we can get static out of the way. And then we're also going to get some of our guaranteed mutations done, so we're going to spawn in our lemon lion so we can get brain rot in about 5 minutes. We'll spawn in our peach wasp so we can get plasma done in about 25 minutes. We'll spawn in a phoenix so we can get flaming done. We'll spawn in cockatrice so we can get toxic done. Actually, we'll go ahead and spawn in our corrupt kitsune so we can get the corrupt chakra mutation done, and then we'll spawn in a pterodactyl so we can get tempestuous done. So that's a lot of pets that we have now that are pretty much our guaranteed mutations. Again, static, brain rot, plasma, flaming, toxic, corrupt chakra or foxfire corrupt chakra, and tempestuous. So that is a lot of pets there, but that will give us some of our guaranteed ones done. I would use the golden goose as well, but we already got fortune from selling that one egg. Also, perfect timing, we do have a nighttime event so we can get moonlit on our cocoa mango or just one of our sugar apples or carrots, and we can easily get that moved over to this once we use our Spinos in a little bit. I guess I'll go ahead because I ran out of the luminous sprays. I have to go buy more or earn more over there, but since I don't have that right now, I'll also go ahead and spawn in this luminous sprite so we can get that guaranteed mutation done, since the portal will take a little bit of time to get through, and this will only take about 15 minutes, and that's another guaranteed mutation, I believe. Yeah, it's guaranteed, so that will fulfill all of our guaranteed mutations. We already have a ton of glimmering stuff, so we don't really need to use our glimmering sprite right now, but we do need to use the luminous sprite since we don't have any sprays currently for that. But we have a pretty good setup here, so I'm going to be right back while these guys do their cooldowns, and we'll come back in just a minute and we'll get some more mutations mutations done and get our Cocoa Mango to be big boy. Okay, this is interesting. We got a heat wave during nighttime. I don't know if I've ever really seen this combo before, but with that, I don't know if I have any more tanning mirrors, so it's actually good that I'm here. So I can go ahead and make sure I get tanning mirrors placed down right here so we can get the sun-dried mutation, and then that will also allow us to get Paradisal in just a little bit. And with that, our giant bean lemon line here is about to apply the brain rot mutation, so we go ahead and swap them out. And I forgot, I do need to do the jackalopes before I do the disco bee, since the jackalopes are pretty quick. We'll work on that. Well, let's go ahead and wait for this guy real quick to give us the brain rot mutation, and then we can probably boost our Raiju to shorten his cooldown. Let me see. Yeah, that'll shorten a couple minutes so we can get more jackalopes done. But all right, let's go ahead and get, there we go. We just got sun-dried, so we'll get Paradisal done. I think it should actually already be done since we have Verdant on there. All right, sorry, my dogs are going crazy, but we got the brain rot mutation done on a sugar apple, so we're good. And we just got Paradisal done on our Cocoa Mango, so that is good. And hey, why the dog barking? All right, but anyways, let's go ahead and pick up this lemon line here, and we'll get flaming done in a second. So I guess with that lemon line being out of the way, we can go ahead and put a jackalope down to start working on getting Sandy mutation, and we'll go ahead and add some more jackalopes in once we get the Phoenix done and the Raiju done. So we get that Sandy mutation done and out of the way. This guy's gonna need another boost though. He's got a fast cooldown, but percent chance is kind of low, so I like to boost him to help us out a little bit. There we go. All right, Phoenix is applying flaming to different fruits, and he actually looks like he applied it directly to our Cocoa Mango. Yes, he did. All right, perfect. Thank you, my guy. Thank you so much. All right, Phoenix, your job is done. Actually, hold on a minute.
How do you apply flaming when it's literally raining? This game is very unrealistic. My immersion is ruined.
All right, I'm picking up the Phoenix. We're going to go swap him out with another Jackalope, and hopefully we get Sandy done here. Raiju will give us static in just a second. Also, do we have shocked on this? Yes, we do. All right, perfect. Cool. All right, yeah, so he'll eat that shock carrot there. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this flaming one. We got a ton of stuff moonlit, and our Cocoa Mango directly is moonlit, so I'm gonna get rid of some of these moonlit carrots and just plant some new ones, just so we have an easier palette for our Spinos. All right, Raiju ate the carrot, and he just applied static to a sugar apple and some carrots, so he is good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up these static carrots since he got another sugar apple over there. Again, just to make it easier for our Spinos in a little bit, let's go ahead and pick him up. My poor little jackalopes are failing at life. Oh no. Let's go ahead and spawn another one in. We gotta get Sandy done, guys. Come on, hurry up. Give us Sandy. We need some Sandy done and out of the way. All right, we got things to do. All right, we got Twisted and Windstruck, which means we got Tempestuous. We are done with our Pterodactyl here, so that is good. We can move them out of the way, and we have all of our Jackalopes spawned in, so now we could start adding in some Disco Bees into the mix to give us the Disco mutation, hopefully, and then we'll work on Chicken Zombies after that. Come on, guys, stop failing me. Get Sandy on something, please. Sandy, 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 please, Sandy. All right, we got Sandy added to a carrot, and an earthquake is happening. I channeled an energy I did not mean to channel, I guess. Anyways, our cockatrice just applied toxic to a sugar apple over here, so that is another mutation done. We can go ahead and pick up the cockatrice here. He is done with his job, and then we'll get Luminous done in just a second here. We'll go ahead and boost that sprite to save some time. Oh, look at that. We just got Foxfire Chakra finally, dude. We never get Foxfire Chakra, but we just got it on a carrot. All right, let's go and move that to the buffet platter as well. There we go. We got Foxfire Chakra. Oh, and we got a meteor shower. We got Celestial happening. Hold on. I think I have a star crawler in there, but I'll put another one down just in case. There we go. Put one in that corner. I guess I'll put another one down over here for the carrots just in case, just so we can make sure we get Celestial done. All right, cool. Yeah, all these are Celestial now. Perfect. We're good. And go ahead and travel this over here. So we do have all of our Disco Bees here. We have 4 of them, so I'm going to go ahead and start placing down some Chicken Zombies as well into the mix. We can only do 1 right now, but once the sprite is done, we can go ahead and put down another Chicken Zombie. Well, our Cocoa Mango is Celestial now. That's perfect, actually, so we really don't even need this carrot over here. I guess I can pick it up just to save some time for later. All right, Luminous Sprite, stop making weird noises and give us that Luminous mutation so I can add in another Chicken Zombie here. And then I guess I could probably boost my Corrupt Kitsune in a second so we can get Corrupt Chakra done and out of the way. All right, he's going to apply Luminous to something. It looks like he's targeting a carrot. He is targeting a carrot. He's spinning around the carrot, and we got Luminous added to the carrot. Thank you so much for that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and travel this over here to our platter. That actually looks cool. Sorry, I have problems. Anyways, that is done. Let's go ahead and pick up this Luminous Sprite, get him out of the way, and replace him with another Chicken Zombie so we get Zombified done, hopefully, and then we're going to wait just a second here to get Corrupt Chakra done. All right, so our Corrupt Kitsune is going to give us Corrupt Chakra. Hopefully we'll get Corrupt Foxfire Chakra so we can get Ascended Chakra and get that really nice multiplier. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and, well, let's just see what he does real quick. All right, so we just got Corrupt Chakra. All right, so we at least have Corrupt Chakra done, which is nice. But I'm going to go ahead and pick him up for now so we can focus on getting the other, I guess, guaranteed mutations done. And we can spawn in another chicken zombie here to get zombified done. So I did boost all my disco bees here, so hopefully we can get disco done. This Jax one is about to try and apply it, so hopefully that'll be, please, disco. Failed. Okay, usually they fail a couple times. All right, that's fine. I just kicked my chair and that hurt really bad. Ow. All right, Peach Wasp is stinging that disco bee. Let's see if we get disco from that one. Failed. Okay, well, that doesn't help me there. All right, well, we still have 2 more disco bees with their cooldowns almost done. So let's just see if we get it done before we get plasma done with our Peach Wasp. That'd be nice. All right, come on, disco bees. Please give us disco so we can just get the chicken zombies done, and then we can get this AFK grind on the way, guys. Come on. Please, look at me. I'm so sad. All right, let's see it. Disco. Failed. All right, we got 1 more disco bee, and then we gotta wait for the cooldowns again. Come on, Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, please. Bella, I don't like you. I really don't like you. You are our last hope, and now I have no hope. My heart's ruined. But at least Peach Wasp is going to give us plasma. There we go. We got plasma added to a carrot. So thanks for that, Peach Wasp. I'm going to go ahead and move this plasma carrot to our platter. And we're good. I'm going to pick up the rest of these carrots since they're kind of done with that right now. And let's go ahead and pick up the Peach Wasp and throw in 1 more chicken zombie into the mix. And now we have 4 and 4. So hopefully we can get disco done, zombified done, and then we can stop crying and we can go AFK with our nice AFK setup. All right. So we finally got the disco mutation applied to a carrot down here, I think. Yeah, right there in the sandy carrot. So disco is officially done. We can go ahead and pick up these disco bees, and now it's on to just trying to get zombified. We have 1 of our chicken zombies about to be done with its cooldown. I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my last chicken zombie here and a mimic octopus just to try and help speed this up in case this one fails. Let's see if Bella comes in clutch. Otherwise, we have a ton of other chicken zombies now that we can use. Let's see. Failed. Okay, well, at least we have 5 chicken zombies spawned in now and a mimic octopus, so we have 6 pets to try and give us zombified. Hopefully we'll be able to get zombified done very soon, but I guess because we do have all these guys working on giving us zombified, we can go ahead and spawn in a couple of our AFK pets, like the gnome here and the Spriggan, since these are our 2 highest chance ones. And if these guys give us their mutations, then we'll be able to spawn in 2 lobsters whenever we do the AFK grind. All right, so we just had 1 of our chicken zombies actually applied the zombified mutation to a sugar apple over here. Oh, there it is down there. All right, so zombified is officially done, and that is ready to go. So we can go ahead and pick up all of our chicken zombies here and our mimic octopus. And so we have the gnome and the Spriggan spawned in. So let's go ahead and get the rest of our AFK pets ready to go and get all the rest of our mutations done. And then we can focus on getting these Spinos to move these guys, their mutations over. So we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a lobster. We're gonna spawn in our aromatic spaghetti slot to get aromatic pasta sauce and meatballs, so that will mix into the spaghetti mutation. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in our junk bot for the oil mutation, our tranquil scarlet for the tranquil mutation. We'll spawn in our corrupt scarlet for the corrupt mutation, and let's see, we're missing 1 other pet here. Ah, the griffin. All right, I figured there was 1. So the griffin will give us cyclonic, and then that will turn into maelstrom, and then eventually we can get storm charged with that. So that'll be some extra mutations, lots of extra multipliers, and we can make some good money. So we have our nice AFK setup ready here. We got to get all these mutations done. Once we get 1 of these done, I'm going to swap out with the Kappa. The second one, I'll swap out with another Kappa. And then I think the third one, I'll swap out with the corrupt Kitsune again, so we could try to get Foxfire Corrupt Chakra. And then I will swap out the rest with some Spinos and our Ascended Mooncat, just in case we can try to get Dawnbound. I forgot to actually spawn in my Mooncat after last video to try and get Dawnbound on something, so we can use a T-Rex to multiply it. But I'm going to try to do that today after this video if we don't get it by the time I'm done recording. All right, but anyways, I'll be right back. I think we're good to go, and it's time to AFK and get these mutations done. All right, so after our first round of AFKing, I came back, and it looks like we do have Corrupt done, which is awesome, so I can go ahead and pick up our Corrupted Scarlet here. His job has been completed. And then looking through some of these other fruits that we do have a carrot with gnomed on it, so our gnome is also done. We can go ahead and pick him up as well and get him out of the way, as that's another one done. And I looked through all this. I didn't really see anything else that was completed. We did get sauce done, but we still need meatball, pasta, and aromatic. And we did get sauce done a couple of times, so our spaghetti sauce just really likes sauce today, apparently. And yeah, I didn't really see anything else on the sugar apple apples. It's kind of hard to tell because there's so many of them stacked together, but I don't see anything else that got done. However, I did come back from being AFK, and right when I did come back, I did notice on our cocoa mango here, we did get molten as soon as I got back from AFK, which just converted over to blazing. So once we get meteoric, that can become infernal, which will be even a better multiplier buff. But anyways, since we did get 2 of our pets done and our Spriggan, actually, let's see if our Spriggan will give us bloom real quick. I'm gonna boost him. If we get bloom done, that'd be nice. Let's see. Oh, look at that. We got 1 fruit done with bloom. That is perfect. I don't know what got done with bloom, but something got done with bloom. I think one of our sugar apples. So there it is. So bloom is also done. Now we can go ahead and pick up our Spriggan. But we do have 3 slots open. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in some kappas here. And I'm also going to go ahead and put down some carrot seeds over here for our kappas. Help with getting the bloodlet mutation done. So there we go. There's 12 carrots for them to work with. And since they're spawned in, I'm going to go ahead and also spawn back in my corrupt kitsune to try and get foxfire corrupt chakra while we AFK a little bit longer. And then once some more of these guys finish up with their mutations, we're going to swap out and start putting some spinos in here. But so far, some pretty good progress. So we actually have bloodlet done, which means we can go ahead and get rid of these 2 kappas that we have. We also did get oil done from our junk bot, so we can go ahead and also pick up our junk bot since he is done. And we did get tranquil from our other scarlet, so we can go ahead and pick up our scarlet here as well. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in another lobster just so we can try and help that one get meteoric done a little bit faster. I will boost this one though real quick to see if we can get that finished. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Lobster just applied meteoric to one of our mandrakes, so that's actually perfect. We can go ahead and pick up our lobsters now. So those guys are done. And let's see if our spaghetti sauce gives us meatball finally. Okay, another sauce, but that's fine. He has time. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and also boost my griffin here to see if we can get cyclonic done a little bit faster. And doesn't look like we got cyclonic still. Let me check this. Yeah, so no cyclonic, but that's fine. We'll let him keep doing his thing. But all right, we did make some pretty good progress here though. So that means we can go ahead and officially spawn in our ascended mooncat to try and get dawnbound done, depending on how long it takes for our spinos to move everything over. So I'll go ahead and get that started. I'm gonna pick up some of these carrots that we don't need. I'm gonna go ahead and move the good ones over though that we do need. So this one with oil, I'm gonna go put that over here. I'll move the tranquil one over there, and I'll move this bloodlet one over here, and we can go ahead and pick up all these other ones since we don't really need any of these other mutations. We have all those, and I think we're good. So now that we have that ascended mooncat spawned in, we can go ahead and get all of our spinos spawned in as well. So let's go ahead and get these spinos spawned in. We have 2 megas, 2 normal ones, and that will get a ton of mutations moved over, and we can get them all put on to our big cocoa mango here and get a maxed out cocoa mango with all the mutations on it. So we made some pretty good progress so far. This one's actually going a lot faster. Our pets are helping us out, giving us all the mutations that we need, which is perfect. So now we're just going to go ahead and AFK, wait for these spinos to move everything over. And in the meantime, while they are moving stuff over, we just got to wait for that, hopefully, Foxfire Corrupt Chakra to get added to something cyclonic. And then we still need meatball and aromatic, but we're almost there. So lots of great progress so far. All right, so after about 4 hours of AFKing, we did get everything moved over to our cocoa mango here. The only thing is, for some reason, we haven't been able to get aromatic, and we also have not been able to get Foxfire Corrupt Chakra. I don't know why those two are struggling. Usually we get aromatic pretty early on, but it has literally not gotten added to anything at all. So I don't know why. But besides that, we do have about 32 mutations on our cocoa mango, and if we separate spaghetti here, we'd be up to 34. If we separated harmonized chakra, 35, gloom 36, paradisal 37, storm charge would be about 41, and I think we'd be up to probably about like 44. So if we did get ceramic, and we got this converted to ceramic, I don't know why I didn't convert. I think it's because we got infernal done too early before it was able to convert sandy to clay and then ceramic. We also got frozen, I think, before the sandy was able to get clay, so that kind of messed it up. And we also did not get aromatic added onto it, and we also did not get our dawnbound done. It's been hours, and this guy is still trying here, but we have about 2 hours left, so I'm probably just gonna AFK after I finish this video and let our mooncat apply this to a carrot or something like that, just so we have a dawnbound item for the next video. But anyways, I think this is a pretty good stopping point. I wanted to get aromatic and I wanted to get ascended chakra done, but I don't know why I'm not having any luck getting either of of those right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just call it here. And we're going to at least try to get amber done still. The other thing is we did get some other events happening. Like we did get the earthquake event. And we did not get cracked. And we did get some other events as well while I was AFKing. And we didn't get really any of the event mutations like cracked, aurora, acid, or acidic, I guess. And yeah, I don't know why. But anyways, we are going to go ahead and spawn in 7 raptors. I would do all 8, but I'm going to let that mooncat finish up its job there. And I'm going to go ahead and boost these guys with my toys here. All right, everyone is now boosted. And we are good to pick up the cocoa melon or the cocoa mango. Sorry, I keep saying cocoa melon, bro. I don't know why. All right, but let's see if we can get amber applied to this now.
Nope.
Okay, we did not get amber applied to this, but we... What the heck was that, bro? What was that sound? That kind of just scared me. But, wait, is it this? It is this, bro. The cocoa mango's making weird sounds. Okay, that's terrifying. But anyways, here's our cocoa mango with all these mutations on it in all of its glory. Now, I wish we got a little bit of a bigger cocoa mango here, but this is decent size. So I guess with this and all the mutations, I don't know what we can expect for the price, but hopefully we get something good. So I'm going to go ahead and talk to Steven here. Without further ado, let's see how much this cocoa mango is worth. All right, we actually hit perfectly on the 1 trillion mark, which is crazy. So if we did get aromatic added and we did get ascended chakra, we would have been past 1 trillion, which would have been insane. So the cocoa mango is actually very, very good. I'm actually really happy with that amount. I honestly didn't expect to have that much of a value, but so first off, I'm going to go ahead and place some sprinklers here. So let's do our Grandmaster, Master, Godly, Advanced, Basic, and also a stock sprout sprinkler here. We're going to throw our beanstalk seed right inside of that. We're gonna go ahead and spawn in some triceratopses to speed up the growth of this beanstalk. I'm also gonna use some watering cans just to speed this up a little bit to help out our triceratopses. Oh, that's growing in actually pretty quick. So this thing's at 34%. Our triceratopses should be able to speed that up. And this seems to be a pretty big beanstalk here. Looks like it's going to be very tall, which might be a good thing, but it also could be a bad thing if the fruit that we need is all the way up here. We're gonna have to do a lot of climbing today. All right, we're at the very tippy top of our beanstalk. So whenever the triceratopses hit it and it grows, it's gonna go straight through us. All right, our army of triceratopses are about to smack up our beanstalk. So let's see if this fully grows in. It should. It definitely should fully grow in. Let's see. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Hey, guys, chill. It's good. We don't need all these in here yet. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now is pick up all these guys, or at least pick up 2 of them, keep 1 there. I'm going to pick up all these beanstalks that grew in because we don't need any of these. These are too small, puny, weak, stupid. It's cleared now, so I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 mooncats here. We're gonna let these mooncats finish their cooldowns, and then we're gonna drag the beanstalk into a group of them so we can get some pretty big beanstalks to grow in. People are gonna be yelling at me again to use pancakes, but I don't have any pancake stacks, okay? I'm not that good at this game right now. No, I just need to grind the event more before it ends so I can get that pancake stack because I don't have any. So these guys have a couple more seconds here. Hopefully we'll get a couple of them to group up over here, okay? This might be a good stack right here. Guys, keep coming over here. Yeah, maybe that'll be easier. Like right on top of the beanstalk. That's fine too. Yeah, yes. Perfect. Look at all these guys. All right, we're gonna drag this right into the middle of all these. Yes, hopefully that gives us a very, very big beanstalk growth. All right, let's see if that gave us any big beanstalk growths. Come on, smack that thing. Blah! Oh, this is all we got was this puny little thing right here. What? Why did so many small ones grow in again? All of our mooncats did that for nothing? What's going on here? There's gotta be a big sprout, because like down here, none of them sprouted, and only at the top they did. So there's gotta be something that's about to grow in that's gonna be a big boy. All right, so I've been sitting here trying to get a big beanstalk, but I just found something out, and that is that beanstalks usually aren't visually big, okay? Because look at this, right? I have this beanstalk here that is 40 kilograms, and it looks like this, which looks pretty big, right? But then I have this beanstalk here that is 174 kilograms. That's only this big. So really the beanstalks, you could have a huge beanstalk, but you just won't really know it because the sizing on them, it doesn't really visually get big. It's not that common to show this big of one. And even though this one looks big, it's only 40 kilograms. So yeah, this is actually considered a big beanstalk here. And we probably already have a bigger one than that. As you can see, this one right here is, I think, a pretty big beanstalk as well. And this one already looks bigger than this this one that I'm holding. So I believe this one is probably even closer to like 200 kilograms. So I think we have our winning beanstalk here. So I'm going to go ahead and favorite this one real quick. And then we're going to pick up all the beanstalks around it. All right, yeah. So again, as you can tell, like this one's 161 kilograms, but it's this small. So yeah, these things just don't visually get that big, which that's good to know. So I don't sit here because I've been sitting here for like 30 minutes trying to get a big one, but
I guess I'm just crazy. I didn't know that.
Get out of here.
So here's the beanstalk we're going to be working with today. So I'm going to go ahead and get 5 mutations put onto this thing. Let's see, is there wet or anything on this already? No, it's just basic. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put chocolate, honey glazed, shocked, pollinated, and then I guess we'll go ahead and put a cloud touch since I have a couple of these. All right, that will give us 5 mutations on this beanstalk here. There we go. And then with that, we're gonna go ahead and spawn in a queen bee, and then we'll spawn in a butterfly. The queen bee will cool down our butterfly, and the butterfly will convert this beanstalk here to rainbow. So I'm gonna go ahead and unfavorite that just so it can go ahead and do that. And then over here on my main account, I will also spawn in a queen bee, and I'll spawn in a kitsune. So that way this queen bee here will cool down the kitsune in there, and then that will eventually steal this beanstalk, apply chakra, and that'll be an extra mutation we can get on the beanstalk. So we're gonna go ahead and wait for the queen bee to cool down our butterfly, get this thing rainbow, and then we'll continue on after that. All right, our queen bee's cooldown is done. She's now cooling down our butterfly, and our butterfly is converting all of those mutations up here to rainbow, so we can have that done. There we go. We have a rainbow beanstalk now, so we can go ahead and pick up our queen bee and our butterfly, and then we can go ahead and start applying some of these sprays here. So we'll put honey glazed onto that, shocked, pollinated, fried, burnt, verdant, cloud touched, wet, so our Kappas could try to get bloodlit, chocolate, and I believe that's everything. We have 10 mutations on that, which is good. We're gonna go ahead and favorite that, and then we're gonna go ahead and start spawning in some of our pets here. So I'm gonna spawn in our lobsters first because these guys take forever to get molten and meteoric. They have a 15-minute cooldown for molten, 30-minute cooldown for meteoric, and their percent chance for both of those is insanely low. About 20% and 10% without the boost that they currently have on for both of these. So we're gonna get these guys started so they have a little bit more time to apply that. We're gonna go ahead and also spawn in our Kappas to attempt to give us bloodlit. We'll do our disco bees to give us the disco mutation, and then we'll also start off with our chicken zombies. Maybe we'll do maybe before we do the chicken zombie, so we get one of the mutations out of the way, we will start with the Raiju here. So then we'll place this carrot seed down, and then we'll apply the shocked spray onto this. So then our Raiju will eat that and then apply static to our beanstalk. That way we can get this pet out of the way. And then we'll also actually, before we do the chicken zombies, we'll start with our spaghetti sloth here. This guy has 4 mutations he has to apply, which aromatic is one of them since we have the aromatic mutation on him. And then he also needs to give us pasta, sauce, and meatballs so we can get spaghetti. All right, so we have 1 minute left on my main account over here for this kitsune's cooldown to be done, and then to apply chakra. I'm actually going to go ahead and travel this carrot back here, so he'll hopefully just focus the beanstalk. Also, we have acid rain, so we could hopefully get acidic on this beanstalk here. We'll see. Wait, what the heck was that, dude? This beanstalk just tried growing in on top of this one. Hey, don't be touching my other beanstalk like that. I'm gonna keep this favorited though, because I don't want the Raiju to eat it, even though I mean, we have time, but you know, just in case. He's a hungry boy. All right, here we go. Kitsune Simon is on the way. He's gonna eat this beanstalk, and hopefully only this beanstalk, since it's the only live plant that I have. Yep, there we go. We have the chakra mutation now on our beanstalk, so that is perfect. We should be good. We're good with our main account, so we're gonna go ahead and leave on that over there, and we're just gonna go ahead and wait now for the pets to do their next moves for us. All right, our disco bees are about to attempt to apply disco to our beanstalk, so hopefully they can do so without causing issues. Let's see if our disco bees help us out here. Give us disco, please.
Nope.
Okay, I guess that one was way too far out of range because nothing happened, which is annoying. Let's see if our other one will apply disco, maybe, please. Please. Oh, perfect. First try, we got disco added to the beanstalk, so we can go ahead and pick up our disco bees. They are done with their job for today. I'm going to go ahead and place another carrot down. I actually removed it again just so I could make sure that they wouldn't apply it to this because our Raiju has to eat the carrot. So there we go. Now our Raiju can go ahead and eat that. Yeah, our disco bees are done, so we can go ahead and replace them. I'm going to go ahead and replace them, I guess, with the corrupt kitsune and the pterodactyls. So we can attempt to get corrupt chakra, and we can get tempestuous, and I'm going to use carrots for these guys as well in just a bit to give us some more mutation chances. But anyways, our Raiju here is going to eat our shocked carrot now, and then apply static to our beanstalk just like that. So that is another mutation done and out of the way. We'll pick up the Raiju. I'm going to go ahead and attempt to get oil done. So we're going to spawn the junk bot in since he takes a while. All right, let's see if we get any mutations from our lobsters here. Hopefully we can get molten done and out of the way on to our beanstalk here. There's another beanstalk growing in. I'm getting that thing out of the way. All right, come on, guys. Apply molten. Just let's get that done. You know, it's pretty easy. Come on. Oh, look at that. First try. We got molten to the beanstalk. Thank you for making it so easy. You just got to ask nicely, I guess, and they will do their thing. The spaghetti slot's headed over to apply one of his mutations, even though he has like 4 of them. This will just be 1 out of 4. See which one he adds in, though. All right, perfect. We got sauce done and out of the way. So now we just need pasta and meatballs, and then we need him to give us aromatic when he's ready for that. I'm going to go ahead and place some carrot seeds down real quick here. Let's do about 9 because our corrupt kitsune will also need some to work with. And I'm going to go ahead and feed a toy to my pterodactyl here. And, oh, okay. Well, we didn't even really need him for that because instantly we got Windstruck and Twisted applied to our beanstalk. So we didn't even need the carrots for him. So yes, we now have Tempestuous on our beanstalk. We will not need Spinosaurus to move Tempestuous over, which is nice. That's 1 less to worry about. And I guess in the meantime, we'll spawn in our first chicken zombie here to hopefully give us zombified, and we can get that done and out of the way. Oh, there we go. It was aromatic. I thought that was one of his next food mutation ones, but we got aromatic done. That was quick and easy today. So aromatic has now been applied to our beanstalk. This is going a lot easier than the cacao, man. I gotta tell you. All right, so let's see. Are we gonna get meteoric? I don't know if this is for meteoric or molten. Let's see. Hello, lobsters. Anything? Any love today? Okay, this is for meteoric. The first one failed, and... oh my gosh! We got meteoric, but it's on this one that's growing in, but that's fine. We at least got it. That one always takes forever. Oil failed, but that's fine, dude. I'm at least happy we got meteoric done and out of the way. All right, let's see what the spaghetti sloth applies next. After this, he'll only have 1 more mutation to go since we already have 2 out of 4. This will be 3 out of 4. Hopefully it's not sauce again. All right, cool. We got meatball. That works. So we just need pasta. But what I'm thinking we could do to speed the process up of moving these to our good beanstalk up here is once this corrupt kitsune applies chakra, I will spawn in another Spinosaurus so we can start getting those moved over to the big guy up there. So our corrupt kitsune is almost done. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get some more carrot seeds down. All right, corrupt kitsune is approaching. Let's see what he applies. Hopefully we can get it directly on the beanstalk, but if not, we have these carrots, so it's fine either way. All right, let's see what he does. Come on. Okay, we got it on 1 carrot. That's good. That's all we needed. All right, and then with that, I will spawn in another Spinosaurus to start helping this one move all the mutations that we got onto this beanstalk. So one of them should eat 2 mutations, 1 off of this, 1 off of this, and then the other one should finish this one off and just eat 1, and then they'll shoot it all up to our beanstalk up here. Okay, wait a second. Something just happened. I wasn't paying attention fully, but we got our corrupt Scarlet here to apply corrupt to our carrot. I did just boost them with toys, not really knowing where their cooldowns were, but we did get corrupt, so we just need Tranquil from our other Scarlet here. But our corrupt one is done. We can go ahead and pick him up, and now our Spinosauruses should be able to eat 1, 2, 1, 2, and then apply all those to the beanstalk, which would be perfect. All right, guess we'll go ahead and spawn in one of our Kappas again to attempt to apply Bloodlet to our wet beanstalk up here before it gets frozen. But if he doesn't do that, then we'll just cry. All right, our spaghetti sloth is about to apply his next mutation. Hopefully he gives us pasta, because that is the last one that we need. It looks like he's targeting the carrot though, which is interesting. But as long as you give us pasta, dude, I don't care which one you target. The Spinosauruses will take care of the rest after that. But as long as it's pasta, just make sure it's pasta. You already gave us sauce, you gave us meatballs. We need to complete the spaghetti. We need some pasta, man. Come on. He applied meatball. We already had meatballs. We don't need more meatballs. All right, well, we're gonna leave him around for a little bit longer then, because he did not fulfill his job. All right, let's see what this one eats. The passive should work again, so he should eat 1 off of this, 1 off of this, and then apply to that one. Please work correctly, Spinosaurus. Okay, yes, there you go. Good boy. Good boy. All right, Meteoric and Corrupt Chakra are now applied to the beanstalks. Hopefully he'll just eat Corrupt, because, I mean, there's only Meatball on both of them. I don't think he'll eat 2 of the same ones, but yeah, hopefully the next one only eats Corrupt and then Meatball. Chicken Zombie, don't let us down. Come on, UC. Come on, come over here and be UC full. Huh? I have no friends. I'm sorry. All right, let's see it. Zombified. 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 Well, that was the right one, but you failed. You see, I can't believe you. How could you do this to me? I was cheering you on and everything. You just ripped my heart out of my chest. I hate you. I'm just kidding. I don't hate UC, but they're not being very UC-ful. Sorry, I'll stop with that. All right, let's see it. Come on, do the right thing here. Meatball. Or no, corrupt from that one. Eat corrupt. Good. And then meatball. Perfect, buddy. You did good. You good little Spinosaurus guy. All right. There we go. Corrupt and meatball are now applied to that beanstalk. So we can pick up this meatball carrot and we can pick up this beanstalk that is now boring with nothing on it. And we can go ahead and pick up these Spinosauruses for now. We don't really need them. We can go ahead and just try and focus our pets on that one beanstalk up there again. Perfect. We have a heat wave event. So we should be able to get that verdant into paradisal. Look at that, dude. Quick and easy with the tanning mirror. All right, so that verdant is now paradisal up here. That's a really good multiplier to have, so that is some more bonus points for us. Now, in about 13 minutes, we should have a nighttime event. So, oh wait, you can do Tranquil? Okay, you failed. Thank you for hurting my feelings. Anyways, we should have a nighttime event in about 30 minutes. And I know that because I have a Discord bot, my Discord. If you want to join discord.gg/bandites, you can get notified for grow garden events, weathers, stocks of seeds and gear and all that. So, yeah, join up, go get the bot rolls and all that. But anyways, we should have a nighttime event within 30 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and place a night staff here. So that way, when that nighttime event hits, we can easily get moonlit done and out of the way. So we don't need to use any tanukis today. All right, our spaghetti sloth should hopefully apply pasta this time. If you don't apply pasta this time, I don't know what's wrong with you, dude. Come on. You just got to get pasta. That's the only thing we need. We don't need more meatballs. We don't need more sauce. You're just making it nasty at this point. We need some noodles. We need our carbs, dude. Come on. Please give us the pasta. There we go. Pasta is done. So our spaghetti sloth is officially done. We now have the spaghetti mutation on our beanstalks. All right, we should have a nighttime event in 2, 1, 0. Boom. Nighttime. All right, so now we should be able to get moonlit pretty easily onto our beanstalk here. So let's just wait a second, and that should apply because we also have a night staff, which will pretty much instantly give us moonlit. There we go. All right. Our night staff has helped mutate our beanstalk to moonlit. So moonlit is now done and out of the way. I'm going to go ahead and give some toys to my chicken zombies here to see if we can get zombified done. Failed. All right, well, that's not helping. What about this guy? I guess we'll wait the 2.5 minutes for this guy to see if he'll apply zombified. Hopefully he does, but it's been a struggle to get zombified today. All right, well, there is no meteor shower, so no celestial, but we did get a thunderstorm, but that doesn't really benefit us much since we already have shocked and static on our beanstalk. But all right, well, I guess at this point, I'm going to go ahead and AFK for a little bit and just have an auto clicker spam click garden. All right, so I just got back from being AFK, and it looks like we actually had a few things happen when I was gone. We did get chilled, so there was a frost event, but we actually did not get it applied to this beanstalk. It's still wet, which is kind of good because we can still try and get that wet turned into bloodlet. But we did get acidic, so we had acidic rain happen, so we can try and get that moved over with the Spinosaurus. On this, we got Tranquil, and then we got a couple of these beanstalks frozen. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the frozen ones though because we don't really need that yet. And then this one also got zombified right here. So we need to get the zombified moved over, this Tranquil moved over, and this acidic moved over. Finally, we got oil applied to one of our beanstalks here. I gave our junk bot a toy to boost him and he applied oil finally. So that actually went on to one of these. Let me see. This one with zombified on it. So I'm gonna get rid of all these new ones I grew in with wet because we don't need any of those actually. All right, so we did get acidic applied. We already had windstruck and verdant, so that didn't really matter. So let's see what this one will eat next. Okay, so this one applied frozen, wet, and oil. So yeah, now our kappas can't really give us bloodlet. I guess they could still on a different beanstalk, but at this point, I need my Spinosaurus to focus on getting the rest of those mutations applied. So we still need the zombified from this beanstalk, and we still need the Tranquil from this one. But we did get acidic and oil moved over to our favorited beanstalk here. So that is another 2 mutations. All right, so our Spinosaurus here should eat the zombified and the Tranquil right away and apply it to our favorited beanstalk. So let's go ahead and watch that happen real quick. Come on over, buddy. Let's get those last 2 mutations applied. All right, there we go. Tranquil and Zombified are now applied to our beanstalks. We go ahead and pick up these other two here. And I believe we are good. I mean, we could still get Aurora and we still could get, I guess, Sandy and Celestial. But we haven't had any of those happen within 4 hours. So I kind of doubt we're going to get those. But we've gotten pretty much every other legit mutation that we possibly can get today. And we're about to attempt to get Amber as well. But let's go ahead and check our beanstalk. So on this thing, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 mutations applied to our beanstalk. And if we separate some like Tempestuous, would have 25. Spaghetti would get us to 27. Paradisal would get us to 28. Frozen, 29. And Harmonized Chakra would bring us up to about 30 mutations. And if we get Amber, that'd be about 31 mutations on this thing. So let's go ahead and give some toys to our raptors here to boost our chances of getting Amber on this thing. That way they have now about a 3.6% chance. So in total, that gives us like a 7% chance. Still not that great. But if we're lucky, we'll get Amber. Let's go ahead and pick this thing up and see if we get Amber. All right, no Amber was applied, but we do have our beanstalk here. This thing has so many mutations on it, and I don't even know what the size is. It won't even let me hover over it to see what the size is because there's so many mutations, but I believe this should be valued at a pretty good amount. So we're going to go over here and check with our boy Steven to see what he'll give us for this beanstalk with like 30 different mutations on it. So Steven, what are we thinking today for our beanstalk's value? So this beanstalk is worth 361 billion, which is pretty good for a beanstalk because it is no longer the best plant in the game. There's so many things that topple over it now. But for 361 billion, I think this is a very good price for as many mutations as we got. And if we even got some of the other admin ones, this thing probably could have easily touched 1 trillion. So before I get the Triceratops in here, actually I will pick up one of these because I will probably need them in just a second. I am going to actually spawn in my sugar apples again. We're gonna go ahead and plant down 6 of these, and I'm gonna go ahead and also spawn in my apple gazelle, and we're actually gonna get one of the mutations done before the plant is actually grown here, and that is the warp mutation, of course. So we'll go ahead and get that done real quick. I know you're probably wondering nothing is grown in, so how am I gonna do this? I'm actually gonna go ahead and use my main account to hit grow all here so we can get everything done, and then we'll focus on getting a big aether fruit in just a second. All right, so surprisingly, we actually did get some pretty big aether fruits, but these are not going to be the ones we use, so we're going to wait on that. But because we have our apple gazelle, we are going to go ahead and pick up the sugar apples until we get that warp mutation done. There we go. We have a warped sugar apple somewhere in the mix in here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that warped sugar apple there. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and reclaim these other sugar apples so they're just out of the way. So now we will focus on getting a big aether fruit. So I'm going to go ahead and use my sprinklers here. So we'll put down a grandmaster sprinkler right there. We're going to put down a master sprinkler. Looks like I need to go get another godly, but we'll do an advanced. We'll do a basic, and let me go grab a godly real quick. Actually, I have some godlies on my main account, so I'm just gonna throw one in the mix right here. All right, there we go. I accidentally put 2 godlies down, but that works. And also, we did just get the chakra mutation applied from my main account's Kitsune, which that will actually save us some time. I forgot that was actually spawned in over there, but yeah, we just got the chakra mutation. There we go. So now we have our setup here. We can go ahead and pick up this apple gazelle, and we go ahead and spawn in a triceratops now. And now the moon cats and the sprinklers will work to get us a pretty big aether fruit. Now this one actually looks pretty big, but I'm gonna go ahead and delete that one because I think we can get bigger than that. And we're gonna work with the mooncast sprinklers to get a big aether fruit, and then our triceratops will speed up the growth a little bit so we can see what size we get, and then we can actually go ahead and start getting the mutations applied. All right, so we're just gonna wait around for a second here, and once the triceratops hits this, we'll see how big of an aether fruit we get. If it's big enough, we can go ahead and finish it off by using the grow all again. And I guess we can also, I believe I still have some toys here I can use. Yes, I do. So I guess I can go ahead and just boost our triceratops to hopefully get a double hit, so that way we don't have to use the grow all. I don't know how big of one we're gonna get and how long it'll take to grow, so we'll see. But I'm gonna give this these 2 minutes here, and let's see what kind of aether fruit we get. All right, so we have a pretty good group of mooncats that actually just started sleeping right here, so I'm gonna hopefully get a good boost of a size for our next aether fruit. Oh, he's hitting the sugar apple. Okay, now he's coming over here. Oh my, ow, ow, it just spawned on top of me. Okay, well, this one grew in instantly, but this one is still going, so I think this one may be bigger, unless it only targeted that one fruit. I thought it just targets the whole plant, but all right, hold on. I'll do a comparison in a second. Give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna hit the grow all button real quick again. It's really hard to tell because it's very bright in here and stuff, but I believe this one is bigger than this one. The little sprout at the top here is bigger, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this one then, and it looks like we have our aether fruit. We do have the glimmering mutation on it already, which will count as us one of the 5 mutations we need for rainbow, which is nice. So I'm going to go ahead and use a couple sprays here then, since we do have that. The silver doesn't count, but everything else will count here. So I'm going to go ahead and put pollinated on it. We're going to put chocolate on it. Hello. Hello. Oh, I'm spraying the tree, dude. I've been on vacation, dude. My brain isn't working. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, but I'm gonna go ahead and put a honey sprinkler down on it, and that should give us 4 mutations. So I'm gonna use my main account for that last one. All right, I went ahead and put cloud touched on it. So now we have our 5 mutations, and we are good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in my queen bee now with a butterfly. Queen bee will cool down the butterfly. Butterfly will convert these 5 mutations into rainbow, and then we can go ahead and get started on getting all of the mutations that we need. Now, the only problem is with this current fairy event, the glimmering plants are like insane, dude. Like you get so many of them, and then when we use the Spinosauruses, they just want to move over glimmering a bunch of times. So we're probably gonna have to try and collect all the glimmering plants at some point and just get them out of the way. There's just so many of them. Yeah, anyways, we should be good now. I'm gonna go ahead and wait this out. Let's get rainbow, and then we'll come back and get this thing mutated with lots of nice, beautiful mutations. All right, so we are back, and our queen bee is now going to go ahead and cool down our butterfly and turn this aether fruit into an actual rainbow aether fruit. So there we go. Butterfly is cooled down, and all of these mutations go away, but we get the rainbow mutation. There we go. Perfect. So now we have that rainbow mutation for that 50 times multiplier. We can go ahead and favorite our aether fruit here and go ahead and start applying some sprays. So we'll go ahead and put chocolate on it. We'll go ahead and put the glimmering on it. Actually, I'll save this glimmering because we're going to get glimmering either way. We literally have a bunch of glimmering over here. So I'll save that. We'll put pollinated on it, and we'll go ahead and put our honey sprinkler down to get honey glazed on it. And then over here on my main account, we have quite a few sprays we can go ahead and use over here. So on this guy, I'm gonna go ahead and put the cloud touch spray on it. We're gonna put the shock spray on it, and we're gonna go ahead and put luminous on it. So there we go. We now are up to 7 mutations on here. A lot of my sprays, I guess, have run out. I usually do have the verdant spray, but we're gonna be using our scarlets for a while anyway, so we definitely will get verdant done at some point. And then we don't do fried and burnt anymore because we usually get ceramic. But if we had those 3, then we'd be up to 10 mutations, and we do have chakra over here, so we would have 11. But we're gonna get all that moved over in just a minute. But this is a little bit less than what we normally have initially, but we'll work on it. So don't worry, okay? I got this. But we're gonna go ahead and start getting some of our guaranteed pet mutations done and out of the way. So we're gonna get the pterodactyl done, so we can get that tempestuous out of the way. Corrupt kitsune, so we can get corrupt chakra out of the way, and then we're gonna go and get the peach wasp for plasma, lemon lion for brain rot. We're gonna get a golden goose in here, so we can get the fortune egg, and we're gonna get a raiju, so we can get shocked, turn that into static, and apply it to our aether fruit. So I'm gonna go ahead and get some carrots spawned in here. So our raiju, pterodactyl, and corrupt kitsune have a better chance to get those mutations applied, and then we can get some spinos later to move all these over. So we're gonna go ahead and put 9 carrots down here, and since I ran out of shock sprays on this account, I'm gonna go ahead and use my main account since it has some to apply shock to one of these carrots. But we have a shock carrot that my raiju will eat and apply static to my other plants. And then we'll get our pterodactyl to give us tempestuous on one of these, corrupt kitsune to give us corrupt chakra, and that will be good. So those guys are out of the way. Now we're gonna get the jackalopes done to give us the sandy mutation a little bit faster, since these guys will give us sandy in about a minute or a couple minutes here. Once sandy is out of the way, we'll swap them out and continue with some other pets that we have, which I think next we'll actually do the new phoenix pet, since we do have 2 of them, and we can get that flaming mutation. Although I think flaming might be guaranteed, or it's like a 20% chance, but I'll see once our jackalopes are done. Let's go ahead and wait and see if we get the sandy mutation done and out of the way. Hopefully we do, because we will need that to get ceramic in a little bit. Okay, this is actually good. Now, that's not good that the jackalopes failed. That actually makes me really sad. But we do have some acid rain, so we have a chance to get the acidic mutation applied to one of our fruits. If we get it at least on one fruit, we can easily have our spinos move it over to our aether fruit, and that'll be some extra multipliers for us, which will be very nice. Very, very nice. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and wait for these jackalopes still, so I'll be back. Okay, so we just got the sandy mutation applied to a carrot, so our jackalopes are done, which is perfect. I'm actually gonna go ahead and try and spawn some more carrots in though, so we can get that acidic mutation a little bit more easily, because it's struggling. Okay, so we got to get acidic on something, so I'm going to spawn some more carrots in so we have an easier chance to get this. I'll probably get rid of these carrots in a little bit, but just a couple more so we can try to get acidic out of the way. All right, but our jackalopes are done. We have sandy on this carrot here, so that is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and move this over to our buffet platter for our spinos. We can go ahead and pick up these jackalopes here, and with that I'm going to replace them with the new phoenix pets. Now these phoenixes, it says every 6 minutes, travels between 4 random fruits in your garden, which gets the flaming mutations. Fruits passed have 20% chance to mutate as well. Okay, so I think this is guaranteed. But anyways, okay, so our lemon line just applied the brain rot mutation to this carrot, which is good. I'm gonna go ahead and move this over to our buffet platter as well. All right, so lemon line is done and out of the way. So yeah, this one does look guaranteed because it says travels between 4 random fruits, and those get the flaming mutation, but I guess fruits that are passed also can get mutated. So we might get a lot of flaming mutations, but we'll see how this works. It's our first time trying it, you know, so we got to test the waters a little bit. But anyways, our lemon lion is done, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick him up so we can get him out of the way. Our pterodactyl will be trying to give us tempestuous in just a second here, and then our golden goose will be laying an egg for us. Our raiju will be giving us static, so we have quite a few mutations that are about to get done and out of the way. But since the lemon lion's done, let's see who we can replace him with. Oh, you know what? I guess we can go ahead and spawn in a mandrake, or actually I'll do that in a second because we got to get a couple mandrakes so we can try to get the rot mutation done. Also, we did not get acidic on anything, which is insane, but hey man, we'll get that later, maybe. Now there is a new ascended chakra mutation, but we will have to get foxfire chakra, foxfire corrupt chakra, and then regular corrupt chakra and regular chakra, which we... Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted. We did just get tempestuous though on carrots, and we did just get the static mutation as well, so that is good. But yeah, so we have a chance to get that new ascended chakra, but we do need to get like all 4 versions of chakra, which might take a long time. So I guess we'll see and maybe try and get it. But I wonder if they'll make that a pet mutation one eventually, like the Dawnbound mutation, since you have to do a lot of work for that ascended chakra. But it is a really good multiplier if we do get it. But anyways, our Raiju's done. We do have the static mutation applied, and Pterodactyl's done. We do have tempestuous. Let's go ahead and move some of these to the platter over here for our Spinos again. So I'm gonna go ahead and travel a static carrot over here. There we go. Here's tempestuous. I'll move tempestuous over here. I'm gonna go ahead and leave these here though for our corrupt kitsune to try and apply corrupt chakra to one of those. And next up is our golden goose. He's going to lay his egg, and then our phoenix should give us the flaming mutation as well. I gotta get this this cockatrice spawned in because he's another guaranteed mutation we can get now, and he can actually give us the toxic mutation. And we didn't get acidic, but we can definitely get toxic done because this is guaranteed. So we're gonna get him done out of the way. I almost forgot about him. Okay, yeah, so they do guarantee a flaming mutation on something. So Phoenix is done. We actually don't really need 2 of them at a time, but that's fine. Our golden goose is now going to lay an egg. Let's see, is he gonna poop? Okay, I was seeing if he would poop it out on me. Anyways, we got a fortune egg, so we're gonna go ahead and add this fortune egg over here to the platter. We're gonna go ahead and move one of these flaming carrots to the platter as well, and that is looking pretty good. So we can go ahead and pick up golden goose. And is there anything else like his guaranteed mutations? It's been like a week, dude. I haven't recorded in a week. I was on vacation, as you guys may have seen from the other videos. So I am trying to think of what I need because it's been a little bit. Okay, I think what I'll go ahead and do next actually is get the rot mutation done out of the way. So I'm going to spawn into these mandrakes, but the mandrakes are spawned in. We're going to go ahead and get an advanced sprinkler set up right here, and then we're going to spawn in some mandrake seeds, and we're going to attempt to get the rot mutation done real quick. All right, we got rot applied to a sugar apple over here, so rot is done. All right, cool. So that is done. We can go ahead and get rid of those mandrakes now, and I guess we'll start getting our chicken zombies to try and give us zombified, and our disco bees to try and give us disco. So let's go ahead and spawn some of those guys in. I guess I can do 3 disco bees, and I think I can do 3 chicken zombies, right? No, I think I can only do 2. Yeah, that's fine. All right, well, these guys will work to give us disco and zombified since those are a little bit easier to get, and then we can get ready to set up for our AFK grind and get all the AFK mutations done over some time. All right, our corrupted kitsune is going to give us the corrupt chakra mutation now, hopefully. Please don't fail us. Please don't fail us. Okay, there we go. We got corrupt chakra. We are good. Corrupt kitsune is done and out of the way, so we can go ahead and get at least harmonized chakra. I would like to try and get ascended chakra at some point for that extra multiplier, but probably gonna take forever. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and move him out of the way. Our peach wasp is almost done to finally give us plasma, and our cockatrice should be giving us toxic in a second here. With that extra pet slot though, I am gonna go ahead and spawn in another chicken zombie so we can work to get zombified done. I'm gonna go ahead and move this corrupt chakra carrot over here to our platter yet again, and this will just be an easier way so we can go ahead and look through all these later and make sure that our Spinos eat everything and move it over to our aether fruit. I can pick up that static carrot there. We're gonna go ahead and wait to try and get toxic done and maybe disco. And wait, bro. Why? I was trying to click view and his UI bugged inside of his other UI and I just picked him up and now his timer reset, bro. Why? Oh, dude, I hate some of the UI doing that. Is so annoying. All right, well, we gotta wait a couple extra minutes now for the cockatrice, bro. I'm so sad now. So let's just wait for the magic to happen for a second so we can get plasma done. All right, anyways, Peach Wasp is doing its thing. Hello. All right, cool. We got plasma on another carrot. Thank you. Are you good down there, bro? Okay, he's just doing his thing, I guess. All right, I'm gonna move this over to our platter of carrots. Yeah, so I'll spawn another disco bee. I think we'll probably get disco pretty quickly, but just in case, I'll get another one in there to start its cooldown so we can try to get that out of the way, and then we can just focus on zombified and get this toxic one done as well. It's crazy. It's crazy. My screen is shaking. There is an earthquake right now, so we have a chance to get the cracked mutation on something so we can get it on our aether fruit. As long as we get it on something, then we can move it over, but we'll see if we even get it. Also, can you turn like the camera shake off? They should probably add that as like a feature because that be shaking a lot, dude. I get motion sick. All right, I'm gonna throw up on my screen, dude, with all that shaking. Also, how do the birthdays work? Because December 17th is not actually in 77 days, so it's definitely in-game days, but there's an in-game day like every 4 hours because you get nighttime, and then does a day go down every 4 hours? Is that how that works? I feel like that would make sense, but I don't know. I just work here, I guess. All right, anyways, our cockatrice here is about to give us the toxic mutation. He's gonna spit his nasty toxic fumes all over our plants. All right, he's spitting. We got toxic on some carrots, some sugar apples, so we're good. You're good. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Sorry for picking you up earlier, too early. Flay's about done with its cooldown here, so I gotta actually, you know what? I gotta give it another toy, but maybe Flay will come in clutch, give us disco, and then we can just move forward. And some of our disco bees are, or what am I saying, dude? Some of our chicken zombies are almost done. So Katie and Bella, we can maybe get zombified from. I'm gonna boost those guys as well. Some of our other guys are almost done as well. I think everyone can just use a toy, you know? Hopefully this will give me some of that nice, good old, zombified mutations. We can get that done out of the way. Okay, let's see what we get here. One of our disco bees are about to do their thing. If we can get disco and zombified done, then we can get ready for that nice AFK setup. So guys, don't fail me. We got to move on. We got bigger things to do. Come on. Failed. Failed. All right, they're not helping. What about the disco bees? Disco bees? Failed. All right, well, that really didn't do anything for me, and we just got another chocolate carrot that I didn't need. So thank you guys for doing nothing but making me even more sad. All right, so we just got the disco mutation applied to a carrot, so disco is done. We can go ahead and get rid of our disco bees now because they smell bad. We don't need them right now. I guess we'll max out on chicken zombies for the rest of the chicken zombies that we have to fill in, so we can try and get zombified done a little bit faster. And with that, we still have 2 pet slots. I did put a gnome down so we can try to get gnome done a little bit faster. So I guess I'll go ahead and put down some of our other AFK pets to see if we get any of these mutations done while we're waiting for our chicken zombies to get zombified. All right, so we finally had one of our chicken zombies apply the zombified mutation just now to a sugar apple. There it is. We have zombified done, which means we can go ahead and pick up all of these chicken zombies now that we have. Now, we already spawned in our griffin to get cyclonic, junkbot for oil, and gnome for the gnome mutation. So now we're gonna go ahead and spawn in the rest of our pets that we need for our AFK grind. So we're going to spawn in the lobster to get molten and meteoric. So with the lobster, I believe the molten will actually combine with flaming now to give you blazing. And then you can also, I think, combine flaming and meteoric to give you infernal or something like that. So this guy will be good for some more multiplier bonuses. Molten and meteoric are already very good, but they can also be mixed with other mutations now. We're also going to go ahead and spawn in our tranquil scarlet and our corrupt scarlet. We're going to spawn in the spriggan to get the blue mutation done, and we're going to spawn in the aromatic spaghetti sauce that we have to get aromatic done, and also get his 3 mutations, pasta, meatballs, and sauce to get the spaghetti mutation. And there we go. Those are our 8 pets that we're going to use to AFK. Once one of these guys are done, we'll probably swap in first a new lobster so we can have 2 lobsters going, since these guys take a while to get molten and meteoric done. And then we'll start swapping these out slowly one by one with Spinos, and then we'll get everything moved over to our aether fruit, and we'll have a really nice looking aether fruit with all those mutations on it. All right, so right before I actually went to go AFK, I noticed that my gnome applied the gnome mutation to the sugar apple, which means we have another mutation done. We can go ahead and pick up the gnome, and I actually am going to go ahead and spawn in a kappa with some carrots, and then we're going to try try to get the bloodlet mutation done. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that kappa in there. Let's get some carrots spawned in. We have some carrots over there for bloodlet, and I guess I can put a couple over here. So that way when it travels around, it has more of a chance to give us bloodlet. I'll probably put some more down once this restocks, and that way we can get bloodlet done. Okay, the junk bot just applied oil to a carrot somewhere over here, I believe. Or maybe it was one of these. Here we go. The oil carrot is right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and travel this over here to our collection, and we are good with the junk bot. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and pick the junk bot up actually, and I'm gonna spawn in another lobster to speed up getting molten and meteoric, and now we really do have the ultimate AFK setup. Okay, we just got bloom on a carrot, which I was literally just got done recording the oil bot, the junk bot giving us oil. So our Spriggan is done. We have bloom done, so we can actually go ahead and pick him up. And I'm gonna go ahead and move this verdant carrot over here to our collection, and I'm also going to move this bloom carrot over here to our collection. And I guess we can go ahead and spawn in another kappa for now to help us get the bloodlet mutation. And once we have bloodlet, then we will actually start spawning in the spinos. So just checking out some progress here, I noticed we actually did get a few bloodlet carrots done, which is perfect. So we can go ahead and add this over here to our buffet platter. There's also one over there, so that's good. We also have molten done on a carrot, so we can put that over here as well. And I did see we got aromatic somewhere. Here it is on this carrot, so that is another mutation done as well. And with that, we can go ahead and probably pick up the rest of these carrots, but we're good with these kappas, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick these kappas up and get them out of the way. And it looks like we just need to get meatball from our spaghetti sloth. Once we have meatball done, he'll be done because we did get aromatic, and we do have a sauce over here, a couple sauces over here, and pasta somewhere as well. And okay, so pretty good. We made some good progress here. We pretty much just need cyclonic still from the griffin. We do need meteoric still from these lobsters, tranquil, corrupt, and then also we just need meatball from our spaghetti sloth. So for now, I'm gonna go ahead and start spawning in these mega spinosauruses so they can start eating away at all these mutations and getting them moved over to our aether fruit. We'll wait for the rest of those mutations that we don't have yet to get applied, and then we can move it all over to this one aether fruit here and get the show on the road. All right, so I came back from being AFK. We still have a lot of work to do. A lot of these mutations still need to be moved over to our aether fruit here, but I was looking around at some of our carrots and stuff, and we did get corrupt done while I was AFK, which means we can go ahead and pick up our corrupt scarlet right here. Now, one of our lobsters is about done, so I'm going to try to boost it to maybe, just maybe, get meteoric done. Where's Kiko? This one? Kiko, can we get some meteoric done, please? Okay, that was actually molten, and that failed anyways, but okay, it was worth a shot. But anyways, yeah, our corrupt scarlet is done officially, so we can go ahead and actually get another spino placed in here to help with moving everything over to our aether fruit. And when I was gone, we did get a moon or a nighttime event, so we did get moonlit, which it actually already got applied directly to the aether fruit here, so moonlit's done. All right, so doing another quick check here, our aether fruit here does officially have meatball on it, so meatball is done. So we can go ahead and keep that favorited, but since meatball is done, we have aromatic and all of the other spaghetti sloth mutations on these carrots. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this spaghetti sloth here. He is done with his job. Over here on one of these carrots, I noticed that we did finally get cyclonic done, so we can go ahead, or I guess cyclonic, brain fart, I guess. But anyways, griffin is done here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pick up our griffin, and now we just need to get meteoric still and tranquil. I guess because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in another spinosaurus here to help move over the mutations to our aether fruit, and I will go ahead and spawn in our ascended mooncat, and let's actually see the cooldown on that. Okay, so we have 358 minutes of a cooldown to possibly get, which is about 6 hours, by the way, so I don't even know if we're gonna do this one because we might be done before then, but I will spawn it in just in case. But we have a 75% chance in 6 hours to get Dawnbound, but if we don't get that, then that's kind of a waste and will make me very sad. I should have spawned it in a little bit earlier, but I did have to focus on the spinos and other mutations, but Dawnbound is really good to get. Maybe what I will do too is I will get a Dawnbound fruit, duplicate the mutation with the T-Rex, and that way we have a couple Dawnbound mutations to use for our next fruits in the series. That way I can get it done and not have to wait that 6 hours. But just in case, I will spawn it in today in case the other mutations take forever anyways. So I'm gonna go ahead and AFK the rest of this now, wait for everything to get moved over, and we'll be back once it's done. All right, so it's been about 3 or 4 hours since I went AFK last. last, and we did get all of the mutations moved over from our carrots, our sugar apples, so I did pick all of these up just to mark them down that we were done. And the other thing is, I will say now, the Ascended Mooncat that I have to get the Dawnbound mutation, I accidentally picked him up, but he still had about 3 hours on the cooldown. I don't know if a toy would have even boosted him enough to get to this, to get us the Dawnbound mutation, excuse me. But anyways, besides that, we have our raptors ready to try and get amber, but before we pick this thing up, I'll go ahead and show you all the mutations we have on here. So as you can see, we have a pretty good list of mutations. The text is shrinking and looking really stretched out because we have so many. So counting these, we have 33 total mutations, and a lot of these did get combined. So if we actually go through these, we did get Cyclonic on this again, but we also have Storm Charge. Storm Charge is Maelstrom with Shocked and Static, and Maelstrom is Tempestuous and Cyclonic. So that is quite a few there. But let's go ahead and go through this real quick. So I said 33. So if we separate Spaghetti, we'd be up to about 35. Ceramic would bring us to about 37, I believe. Harmonized Chakra would bring us up to about 38. Gloom, 39. Paradisal, 40. Storm Charged, again, this one has a lot in it. So that would be like, I think 4 other mutations to separate this one. So what did we say? Bro, I just lost count. Hold on, I'm old, man. I'm an old brain. All right, so we're at about 40 with Storm Charge. This would bring us to about 44. And Infernal is actually Flaming and Molten mixed together to give us Blazing, and then Blazing mixed with Meteoric. So that's about 4 in itself as well. But since we already have this here, that's about like 3. So I think that's what, 47 mutations. And with Frozen, that'd be about 48. So this would have about 48 mutations all spread out, which is a crazy amount of mutations. The most that we've gotten so far, mainly because we do have some new pets here. We have the new Luminous mutation. We had the new Phoenix to give us Flaming, and then that mixes and gives us Infernal. And then we actually were able to get Molten again. And we could probably have gotten Meteoric again and just stacked onto this. So that is actually a crazy amount of mutations, and we could just keep getting more and more now that some of these combined. You can get them all over again. So we're gonna see if we get another mutation though by picking this up and seeing if we can get the Amber mutation. So I'm gonna go ahead and boost all of our raptors here to hopefully give us the Amber mutation. Oh, I ran out of toys. Okay, well that's fine. Most of these are boosted. All right, so without further ado, we are gonna go ahead and pick up this Aether Fruit. I wish we got Acidic, and I wish we could have gotten like Celestial. We could get Celestial right now, but kind of doubt it. Usually we don't get Celestial events. They're really rare. And then we could have also got like Aurora, and then we could have got the new Cracked mutation. But we did have some of those events. We just never got them. So I don't know. We just suck, I guess. But let's go ahead and pick up our Aether Fruit, and let's see if we get Amber applied. Okay, I actually thought that was Amber for a second, but it was just this telling me that I did really good things in life, but that wasn't Amber. But anyways, here is our beautiful Aether Fruit that you literally can't see because it is so shiny and bright and it burns your eyeballs. And yeah, there it is. Now you can see a little bit better. So let's go ahead and check the value of our Aether Fruit with Steven, and hopefully this was worth it with all these mutations. There's like what, like 48 technically. We could have got 49, but our raptors hate us. So Steven, how much is this Aether Fruit worth, man? How much would you say this thing is? And do you love us enough to give us past 1 trillion? Without further ado, let's check. Whew. Okay, so this thing is 536 billion with that many mutations on it. I think this definitely would have passed 1 trillion if we had a bigger Aether Fruit. But man, that is still pretty good. However, with that many mutations, I thought this would definitely be over 1 trillion. That's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in 7 Mooncats here instead of the 8 that we used to do, because we're going to throw in a Triceratops, because this guy will speed up the growth of our plant and then also help us get a huge plant combined with the Mooncats. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and place our sprinklers down next. So we do have this new Grandmaster sprinkler, and this should give us some pretty fast growth and some good mutations and all sorts of good stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and place this OP Grandmaster sprinkler down. It covers almost the entire garden. We're gonna put a Master sprinkler underneath that. Then we're gonna put our Godly sprinkler in there, Advanced sprinkler, and then our Basic sprinkler. And within all that, we're gonna put our Grand Tomato plant down. So our Grand Tomato plant is now growing. We have some Mooncats on it, and then our Triceratops should target it and make it grow a lot faster, and we should hopefully get a pretty big Grand Tomatoes. I'm gonna water it just a little bit more just to keep it sprouting up a little bit faster. There we go. It's at 10% now, 11. I'm gonna quickly trowel this over here in between these Mooncats. Wow, this thing is going to be big. That only went up another 10%. This is crazy. Oh, okay, that Triceratops just hit it, and now it's actually at 96%. So whenever this next one hits it, we might get our first sets of tomatoes to actually grow in. All right, it's fully grown now. So now our grand tomato plant is done and it's fully grown in. Now we just got to wait for the fruits. Now our next triceratops right here is about to smack it. So we'll see if it gets us some pretty big fruits. Oh my, okay. Those are pretty big tomatoes. All right, our grand tomatoes are now fully grown in, and it looks like our gold one here is going to be the biggest one. From what I can tell, that one has 7.5 studs going across the top, and then this one only has, like we said, 7, and then this one's only about 6. So yeah, I think we have our winner here, which is this gold one. So I'm gonna go ahead and favorite that. We're gonna pick up the other ones that are in here. All right, well, we do have gold on it, but gold does not count towards getting rainbow, and we do need 5 mutations total, but gold is not even considered one when we're trying to get rainbow with the butterfly. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're going to apply pollinated to it. I guess we'll apply wet to it because that's like a free one there. Shock, chocolate, and then I also have this extra windstruck spray, which you don't really need because I have pterodactyls, so I'm going to go ahead and spray that. And there we go. We have 5 mutations that we can use now, and we're going to spawn in a queen bee and a butterfly. So the queen bee's cooldown is about 7 minutes shorter than the butterflies. The queen bee will cool down our butterfly, convert all these mutations to rainbow, and then we can start getting the other mutations. All right, and then over here on my main account, I'm going to go ahead and spawn in my queen bee and my kitsune. They were spawned in, but I have to reset the timers so then they line up with our grand tomato after it gets rainbow, and that way this will be a little bit closer in sync. So once we get rainbow on it, we can get chakra applied right away. All right, well, we have about 2 minutes left for our queen bee's cooldown to be done to convert our grand tomato here to rainbow, but we just got a nighttime event, so I'm really hoping that these 2 minutes go fast and that we can get this thing to rainbow so then we can get our grand tomato to turn moonlit. That way we don't have to wait around for our tanukis to give us moonlit or for another night event. All right, our queen bee's cooldown is done. Our butterfly is now being cooled down, and we will take 5 of these mutations, well, pretty much all of them at this point, and then we'll turn our grand tomato into rainbow. There we go. Our grand tomato, which is huge by the way, is now rainbow. So we can go ahead and pick up our butterfly, pick up our queen bee. Oh, there we go. Perfect. We got moonlit added to our grand tomato right away. So I'm going to go ahead and favorite this now so I don't accidentally pick it up. Let's go down our sprays. We're going to go ahead and apply shock to this. Pollinated. We're going to go ahead and apply wet as well so we can use our kappas to turn that to bloodlit. We're going to apply chocolate. Then we're also going to apply a honey sprinkler so we can get honey glazed. And our kitsune just stole it from my main account, so that should have applied chakra. So real quick, let's go ahead and check everything that we have here. So we have 8 mutations. I'm going to favorite that again real quick. And then on my main account, I'm going to apply the verdant spray mutation and cloud touched. So I'm going to go ahead and spawn in first 2 disco bees so we can try to get disco applied to it. We're going to spawn in 1 pterodactyl so we can go ahead and get windstruck and hopefully twisted so we can get tempestuous. Go ahead and spawn in for now just 1 kappa to try to get this to turn bloodlit. We'll spawn in 1 cooked owl for cooked or burnt. We'll spawn in 1 chicken zombie for now for the zombified mutation. We'll also go ahead and spawn in our corrupted kitsune so we can get corrupted chakra, turn that into harmonized chakra. And then I guess finally we'll spawn in 1 of our scarlets for now. We do have verdant, but we do have a tranquil scarlet and a corrupted scarlet, so we need to try to get tranquil and corrupted. So I'm gonna go ahead and spawn in our tranquil scarlet here. Now we're up to 8 pets, so we have lots of mutations that we can look forward to getting, and now we just gotta wait around for them to do their things and for events to happen, and then we can start stacking up mutations on our grand tomato. All right, I'm going to go ahead and use some of my toys here to boost some of our pets' cooldowns and also give us higher chances to get some of these mutations. So we're going to go ahead and boost the corrupted kitsune to hopefully get corrupted foxfire chakra. Let's see. Okay, we only got 1 corrupt chakra. I don't even think he applied it to our big one. Yeah, no, all right, so we're still going to have to wait for that, but that's fine. All right, let's go ahead and use this on our pterodactyl to try to get twisted done. Okay, we only got windstruck. We did not get tempestuous. We did not get twisted mixed with windstruck. Eventually, I can use our pterodactyl again and try to get our pterodactyl to apply tempestuous to like a carrot or something, and then use a T-Rex to eat it, and then spread it to our grand tomato here. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and pick up our pterodactyl. For now, I am going to use a raiju here to get static applied to our grand tomato. So what I'm going to go ahead and do for that is I'm going to go ahead and put a carrot down right here. We're going to apply shock to it. And then we're going to spawn in our raiju. So he will eat this shocked carrot and then apply static to our grand tomato here. Oh, and I almost forgot, but to save some time here, since we did get Corrupt Chakra on one of our Grand Tomatoes, I am going to go ahead and pick up our Corrupt Kitsune here, and we're going to replace him with a Spinosaurus, so we can work on getting that Corrupt Chakra moved over. And that way, if any of our other pets get mutations applied to these smaller Grand Tomatoes, they should be able to just move it right over. All right, our Raiju is running over to eat the Shocked off this carrot, and then he's going to convert that to Static and apply it to our Grand Tomatoes. There we go. The big one is instantly converted to Static. That's good. So we don't have to use a Spinosaurus to move that over. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this Raiju. And now we're going to introduce the new pet, which is the Spaghetti Sloth. And again, the Spaghetti Sloth every 14 minutes will go to a nearby fruit and does a cooking. And it will apply pasta, sauce, or meatball mutation. So we could probably get all three of these and actually get them all to our Grand Tomato, as they'll probably apply it to the smaller Grand Tomatoes. So we should be able to get 3 extra mutations on our Grand Tomato. All right, so let's go ahead and also use these medium toys here to see if our Disco Bees will apply Disco. Okay, we got 1 to apply Disco. Since this big guy here is favorited, I'm going to pick up these 2 Disco Bees, and I'm going to spawn in another Spinosaurus, so that way they can move those over. And that looks good for now. So I'm going to go ahead and wait for these guys to apply their mutations. I'm going to go AFK for a little bit while they do their work, and once we come back, we'll see what has happened. All right, so I just got back, and it looks like our Spinosauruses moved that corrupted chakra over, so now we have harmonized chakra, but that looks like that's the only thing that happened when we were gone. Now, we do have some other Grand Tomatoes that have grown in here. One is Static. I can't really tell what these ones are. I know this one has Disco on it, and this one seems to have Tranquil on it. Oh, okay, so Kappa just used its conversion to make one of these Grand Tomatoes bloodlit, and we do have Tranquil on this Grand Tomato, so we can get those moved over. So, and we also did just get zombified on one of these Grand Tomatoes as well, so we can go ahead and get rid of our chicken zombies here, and we can go ahead and get rid of our Tranquil Scarlet and our Kappa, and then what we're going to go ahead and do after that is we're going to go ahead and spawn in our Corrupted Scarlet so we can get the Corrupt mutation done. All right, so I went ahead and used my main account to grow all of my Grand Tomatoes here, just so I could see what mutations we have. So yeah, we have quite a few on these Grand Tomatoes that we need to move over. This one doesn't have anything that we need, so I guess I can get rid of this Static Grand Tomato up here. But these other 2, we have quite a few here. This one, we actually need everything on it to be moved over to our big Grand Tomato. We have Bloodlet, Disco, Meatball, and Pasta. We do need to get Sauce. That's the last one. And then we also have Zombified on this one. And then this one, we have Tranquil on it, which is pretty much the only one we need from that one. But in the meantime, we also need to wait for these polar bears to give us Chilled, so we can get that moved over to our big Grand Tomato, get that frozen. All right, we did just get Chilled though applied to Grand Tomato. So yeah, now literally everything on this Grand Tomato here needs to just get moved over to our big one. All right, let's see what our Spinosaurus eats and moves over. Okay, we got Chilled and Static. We didn't really need Static again, but that's fine because now our big Grand Tomato here is frozen. And when our next Spinosaurus eats, we should be able to get Tranquil done and then one of these good mutations off of this. All right, so I just got back and it looks like we did get Corrupt from our Scarlet, so that is awesome because usually that takes forever. So Corrupt is done. We're gonna go ahead and pick up our Corrupted Scarlet then. And then we also looks like we got burnt on our Grand Tomato here, so we still need to wait for this Corrupt, this Bloodlet, Burnt, and Pasta to move over to our big Grand Tomato. But we did get Zombified moved over, and we did get Meatball moved over. And then I guess the last thing we'll need to do is just make sure we can get Tempestuous done. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do now to try and get Tempestuous going is I'm going to plant the rest of these carrot seeds I have, and I'm going to spawn in some pterodactyls again and try to get Tempestuous on one of these carrots or on one of these Grand Tomatoes. So once we have Tempestuous, we can have our Spinosauruses move that over to our big Grand Tomato, and then we should pretty much be done with all the pet mutations. All right, let's see what our Spinosaurus converts over. Okay, we got Bloodlet, we already had Windstruck, and we already had Meatball, but we did get Bloodlet moved over to our big Grand Tomato. So now we just have to get Corrupt moved over, and then we have to get Burnt and Pasta moved over. But we're making some good progress. Our Pterodactyls will hopefully give us Tempestuous, so we can get that done and out of the way. We also have our Sloth here, who's hopefully going to apply Sauce. Can we get that Sauce done, please? So I don't know what happened in this area of the video, but I guess some of my footage did not get recorded and my microphone was also muted. But pretty much what happened is my Spinosauruses did move over, burnt and corrupt to the Grand Tomato. And then we also got tempestuous from our pterodactyl on this carrot. So I was trying to explain that we're going to wait for my Spinosaurus to move that over to the Grand Tomato. Alright, so I just got back from being AFK, and we did get our tempestuous moved over, but it looks like we still have not gotten sauce. Oh, we do have sauce on this Grand Tomato up here, so once this one is moved over, then we'll have all the pet mutations done. So I guess in the meantime, since we have everything else moved over, I'm going to grab these 2 Grand Tomatoes here. And then we'll leave the sauce one and we'll get that moved over to our big Grand Tomato. Editing Bandites here again. Sorry to butt in. But for some reason, I guess besides my recording not working fully, my brain was also not working because I already had sauce applied to my Grand Tomato. As you can see, I have the spaghetti mutation already done, which is sauce, pasta, and meatballs. So I don't know why I didn't realize that. And I don't know why I sat here waiting for sauce to get moved over. I don't know what was going on in my head. And there we go. We now have sauce on our Grand Tomato, which is all of our pet mutations done. So yeah, it looks like if you get all 3 of the spaghetti sloth mutations, it just converts to spaghetti, which is pretty cool. But in total, we have 19 mutations. But if we separate some of these, like tempestuous, we'd have 20. Spaghetti would have about 23. Frozen would put us at 24. Harmonized chakra would put us at 25. And that would be 25 total mutations on a Grand Tomato. Since we've been at this for a couple hours, I think it's been about 3 or 4 hours since I started this, we are just going to go ahead and pick up our Grand Tomato and try and see what we can get for all of these mutations on it. I'm hoping that we can get a good value with Steven today. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up our Grand Tomato here with all these mutations. Look how big this thing is too. This thing is humongous. So I think this should be worth quite a lot of money. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and walk over here to Steven and we're going to check the value of our Grand Tomato. So what are we looking at today, Steven, with this Grand Tomato, which is technically has like 25 mutations on it? Okay, so this thing is worth 330 billion for this size and all of those mutations. I thought it might be a little bit more, like past the 500 billion mark, but that is still pretty good. I mean, look at this thing. This is humongous. Let me know what you guys think. For getting pretty much all the legit mutations on this thing, let me know if you guys think the value of this was worth it, and if you guys are going to be trying to get the Grand Tomato yourself.